Uncle Senator TV. Where was the motherfucker? He was at McDonald's. That's where he feed his kid. No, he's one step above a junkie. A McDonald's feeding kid Negro cannot speak to me. But I don't call him out on it. I don't call him out that when he wasn't working, him girl was in the streets and she had him babysitting when the baby was young. I don't call him out on it because he don't fuck with me. But now that him fuck with me, I call him a stinky pea. Him know me. Nobody not fucking my girl to feed me. And I don't have to carry my baby to McDonald's to get her my 99-cent burger or a dollar meal. This dollar meal baby feeling motherfucker calling me stinky pea. I'm not lying on him. Where the fuck was he when he was talking to Uncle Senator? Oh, I have to go get the baby. I have to go get the baby something to eat. Any grown man inside this room telling me that he has to get his baby something to eat after work and he's carrying that baby to McDonald's cannot fucking speak to me.
Oh God. So
nigga can't get a young at McDonald's now. Damn.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't think niggas eat Happy Meals these days, big fella.
No. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. You can't.
Niggas don't make it based off that metric. You ain't talking to a lot of niggas because it's hella niggas that be at McDonald's.
No, that means guess what then? That means Corey fucking right. There's a hell of no shit niggas. Corey fucking right. If you going to defend by saying that there's a hell of niggers in McDonald's feeding the baby McDonald's, we in fucking problem.
Yeah,
if you think,
I got it.
If you know that,
I think there's some personal. This is something personal. This ain't got nothing to do with FBA.
Yeah, but he called me stinky pea. He got it personal. We used to have conversation, and why I stopped going on this channel is that he started to use the mute button regularly. Because once you contest him, right? Once you have a conversation with him, he goes all around. So we're talking about one point, and he does the same thing Senator does. He interjects other things in the conversation to try to break your point. What about this? What about that? We're not talking about that yet. Let's deal with it step by step, right? He has the same. He speaks Tariq Nasheed verbatim. Every talking point he has is Tariq Nasheed. He will tell you that there's nobody online who listens to Tariq Nasheed more than him. He says that. If you go back to his channel, he will tell you that nobody online has listened to Tariq Nasheed more than him. So everything he says about FBA is like you're listening to Tariq Nasheed. Verbatim, word for word, almost exact quotations. Right? That's why he also agrees with the Aboriginal thinking. Although in the beginning when we used to have conversation, he would tell you that black people is from Africa. But no, that has changed. Black people has always been here. He will tell you that now, but in the beginning, going back, if we go back 4 or 5 years, he wasn't speaking that. But when he lost his job and didn't get in a job, I wasn't working for a while and his girl was in the streets, all of a sudden he wanted somebody to blame. Ask him that. When you lost your job Unbiased and your girl was in the streets and you was at home babysitting the baby.
Thank you.
Right, you couldn't get a job. All of a sudden, you started blaming immigrants as to why you couldn't get a job. When your girl was in the streets.
But why you call Corey a coon though? I don't get that part. Why do everybody run the coon? That shit's so corny. That shit is so corny, bro.
Corey's going against what he believes in.
To me, it's like a lack of vocabulary that you just is like coon. It could be a compliment.
In a lot of ways, it's a compliment.
It's a what?
In a lot of ways, it's a compliment because I don't mind a nigga who calling me a coon delineating from me, like in my thought process. So I don't mind a nigga calling me a coon based off who's calling.
But did you see how you use your vocabulary? You delineated from a person's worldview. you stood on your square and stated what you stand for. I'm saying that's one thing, but when you just immediately evacuate your vocabulary and just call somebody a coon or a Sambo or some shit, that shit weak. And the funny thing is, all these movements everybody talk about is FBA, Pan African, ADOS, Freedmen, all this shit. For some reason, every time I see a show talking about this, it's just niggas arguing with niggas. So it's all of it's supposed to be some kind of unity. All of it's supposed to be some kind of if we just tool up and somehow become stronger together, then we as a people are gonna get somewhere. Okay, cool. That's a great message. But then within 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, it's just niggas arguing with more niggas. So where's the unity? It's just fake. It's fake. To me, they clout chasing.
Even at the same time when they saying that, they pointing out that they already doing the separation by pointing out the people who you shouldn't fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
I was just about to say, Corey, let's come together by having one of the most divisive fucking conversations we can have.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that nigga Ron is grifting. When I remember, I remember when a matter of fact, not just Ron, all them niggas talking about that shit is grifting. Niggas ain't is you can tell when somebody is in it for views, or they trying to get hot again, or they trying to have a fucking revival or some shit like that. But it's such a grift, it's such snake oil that it's disgusting, because I already know they only gonna be talking about FBA for a few weeks, and then somebody gonna post some dumbass source from a anthropologist, and then they talking about Egypt again, and then when that shit's over with, somebody gonna get disrespected, and it's gonna be back and forth disses and shit. It's just the shit is so remedial, and the funny thing is everybody's calling it education and science. Everybody's calling this some form of education. We trying to bring clarity, but all they bringing is divisiveness and confusion. If you want to just talk about it, just talk about it. But once you start calling people coons and all of that, then you're showing your hand and you're just trying to get views. And if you quote unquote unbiased, I mean, I don't know him personally. I just know. I think I went to a show once or twice. May have supported the men. Other than that, pause. But all I know is none of this sounds unbiased. None of it. When you calling somebody a coon, that's not unbiased. When you now FBA, that's not unbiased. Like, you can't even really call yourself that. I mean, when you first, from what I understand, when you first started doing this thing, you was talking about sports. Now you clipping up videos. I'm gonna tell you something, Stewpeas. And Corey too, I don't remember even having the conversation. I thought we was talking about Diddy.
Yeah, it was
the clip y'all just posted. We wasn't even talking. We was talking about the girl clown shit. You calling Chief X. So I don't understand how does Corey end up a coon and you end up some other shit? Did you go on a different panel, or did y'all deal with each other on something else?
Because we named it. See, he's going around looking. It was what the title was, but it took us like 5 hours to get to talking about FDA. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was 5 hours into the conversation. I think you had put FDA, but we really wasn't even talking about FDA for real. Really, what we was talking about was reparations. Like, that was just what you titled that particular video for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what we were supposed to start talking about, but we never got around to it till later, because we was talking about sports. You know, y'all was talking about sports, and then we went to politics, and then we went to Diddy, and you know what I'm saying? Or I think it started.
Yeah, I mean, we was just talking like we normally do. A lot of times, like we don't hit the button all the time for all the conversations we have, because some of the conversations, like we say, is just barbershop conversations. We just sitting there talking about, football, or we talking about I think the Diddy documentary. I think that's what he's talking about. Then we started talking about women. and family and stuff like that. And we was just having a general conversation, but DQ said go live. So I just went live. And at the time when I pressed it, the goal was to get the FBA, but you could tell we don't even want to talk about the shit. It's a very divisive conversation. We don't mind if somebody clip videos all day. That's cool. But once you do the name calling, then in some cases we'll respond. If I know you just name calling to get us to talk to you, hey Corey, in that video, you know what I do remember in that video? Remember I was telling you, remember how like when you was a kid and your parents tell you, that little girl hit me. I mean, like you tell the teacher, this little girl hit me, or she always bothering me, she always trying to irritate me, and you get mad as hell. And then the teacher tell you, yeah, the girl like you. That's really what she's doing. She's trying to show you that she likes you per se. Or
right.
Like when you get a little older in your teens or whatever, and you dealing with a girl and y'all stop talking and she just cussing you out and pulling up at the crib and all of that, and you realize really quickly she really just, it don't matter if she's talking to you in anger or she talking to you in anything. She just wants to talk to you. She misses talking to you. That's what this feels like to me. This feels like he must need Stewpeas'.
You need validation.
Yeah.
He's searching for validation.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is a validation thing.
Yeah, he's searching for validation.
To me, it came off as he was just trying to content search, right? Like he think like we do, he see how often like that we do I guess he see how many like shows we got and like how long they are. He thinking like, yo, we really into like doing this content like that, but like we really, that's just our conversations that we have, and that's just been recorded. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he thinking like, this is something that we do on a normal basis. Like we talk about FBA, you know what I mean? Like he just got the total wrong idea. Like, he jumped out the window before he even understood like really what was going on there. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
No, is that you touched on Tariq Nasheed and the hurting feelings. Tariq Nasheed is his boy, and you're hurting feelings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all it is. You cannot criticize Tariq to FBA. That's the worst thing you can do to them. They take it personal. Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, they do.
Unbiased, that was your boy. You know what I mean? I remember that.
Yeah, I used to be on the channel with him. And when I started pushing back, I started saying, dude, no, that's not right. That's not how it goes. Because he wasn't logically thinking. So once you discuss anything with him and he feels that you're pushing back against him, take it personally. You realize that, no, this dude, and then as soon as he lost his job and he lost his business, because before COVID, he used to teach chess. But after COVID now, everybody went online doing the chess.com, the chess this, the chess that, and nobody was really into needing a chess coach anymore.
Right.
So he took it personally. And then he was looking for jobs. He moved out of state, right? And he took it personal. That other people, these immigrants taking the jobs. And then, you fall into a Tariq Nasheed.
I remember he called me one time. That's crazy because I think I actually got his phone number. But I remember he called me one time and he was asking me about like being a project manager and shit like that. And I was giving him some pointers on, you know what I mean, what to do, you know what I'm saying, what the job entails, what he needs what information he needs to know to go into something like that. We was in correspondence for a little while, you know what I'm saying? And but I don't know what happened. I don't know. Obviously he's not a project manager, but Yeah, I don't know how I went from how it goes. Like that was like one of our conversations was me like giving him information and corresponding with him, giving him information about the construction world. You know what I'm saying? That was like our last interaction we had, and to go from that to calling me he said he taking my FBA card. I'm a tether. He says I'm a tether enabler or something like that, and a coon.
Yeah, like what?
He got a whole name. I forgot what it is, but he got a whole like little name for it, bro.
Yeah, you know what, Corey? It's kind of sad because the consensus seems to be that everybody who kind of watched it from the background, me being, me included, everybody kind of fuck with Unbiased, bro. But I ain't trying to hear all this crazy ass, divisive ass bullshit. I hate the whole fucking conversation, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because look at this dumb shit it starts. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know if
what's his history? Wasn't he was he in the
he was a Hebrew Israelite, this and that. Like he's been some of everything.
He ain't never like
he was a Hebrew Israelite. He was a Hebrew Israelite.
Got to Sinetta. Like he's never like actually like he was when we was the pseudo killers, like you know what I mean? Like we would go on there and fuck around, but I don't know. Now he done got like I guess a different relationship with Sinetta, but he would look at Sinetta in the same way like I would look at him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know.
But hold on. So wait a second. So all right, let's run this. Let's run this down. Let's do it. Let's do it strategic though. So let me ask you a question. So was he? So you would say he was. So he was in PK. He was a Hebrew Israelite.
Well, I didn't know at the time.
He was a Hebrew Israelite.
Okay, so he was a Hebrew Israelite. All right, so he was, and then he used to be like a Stephen A. Smith or some shit too. He's talking about sports. Then
right. That's what he was doing when I met him. You know,
right. And then when I think the first conversation I ever had with him was on some Fat Joe shit. I think we was talking about that's when the Fat Joe nigga conversation came up.
I want to start talking about him and he not here.
Okay, boy.
I was thinking about going get him.
I mean, talking about the lookout.
Hold on. Hey, Smalls, you got to mute up. What'd you say, Mika?
I said, y'all talking about him. He not here. I was about to get him. He's easy to reach.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, Mika. Hold on. First off, shouts to you. Happy holidays. Part two, this is only a response to some shit talking about Corey and Stewpeas when they weren't around. So we'd love to give him. He called Corey a coon on the video. Corey wasn't on the panel.
Word? Why?
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't just wake up with Abo Ron on our mind. Like somebody dropped the link in the Discord and I'm calling Corey a coon and a enabler or some shit, and then it was on our video. And we don't give a damn if my people use the videos. That's cool. But then he started talking about Stewpeas, so we just fired up the Discord because we all of us are in the holiday spirit, so we in the gift of giving. So we're gonna give him a little bit of attention today.
Trying to figure out what the deal. You know what I mean? Like I said, Mika, last time I had a conversation or interaction with him, I was giving him information about the construction world. You know what I mean? And then for me, the next time to hear from him is on the video of him saying I'm a tether enabler and he taking my FBA card and I'm a coon and all this old shit because of what I'm thinking about eating the sheet.
I want an FBA card. Who's giving out these fucking FBA cards? Because now I want one. If they pass, how much they cost? What do you guys do?
That's what I'm saying. Where you get them motherfuckers at, yo?
Yeah, because if you can take it away, that means there's somewhere I can go get this motherfucker. So where can I go get my foundational? It's foundational Black American, right? So I want to go get my foundational Black American card. But yeah, Mika, if if you wanna, the server's free and open. Anybody can come in here and talk a little bit of shit. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna stop. We wouldn't.
Oh,
We're not gonna stop. We're going to invite him in here. You got all rights here. You know that.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. And shouts to Haskell. Corey, you are now, no, you're not a coon, you are a Tether collaborator. That's what Haskell said you are. You're a Tether collaborator. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm not here in the chat. Shouts to Bag Juice. My question is, but I mean, all of these things, how's he unbiased? How's he unbiased if he's all of these different things though? That don't make sense. Unbiased would be kind of like a person that ain't really tied to no one thing, and they kind of like do their own thing. But if you was a Hebrew Israelite,
his name, I guess he changed his name. He just Ron now. The wild part is I never knew his name was Ron. That's the wild part, bro. That's the wild part.
You know what it is?
Maybe I did, but I never thought about. You know what I mean? I just always called him Unbiased.
What it is, Corey? You've been real peaceful for a while, and I think you ain't really been addressing, like just letting motherfuckers go willy nilly. And I think that peacefulness. I think people. What is that on them Godfather? They trying to pull you back. They try to pull you back into the back to school. They try to bring you back to that level. And you out here building America. You know what I mean? You out here building America, and then they trying to bring you back. Damn. All right. Well, go ahead, Stu. I apologize if I cut your wisdom.
I never cut me. I was hoping that Askel would join the chat because I still know him too. We used to be on the chat. We used to be talking.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we was all cool. I mean,
we're all cool.
But I don't know.
He has a need. He has a need to be the bright. When I figured out that, you have a need to be the brightest one in the room. That's your problem. Anytime you encounter Negroes that believe that they have to be the wisest one in the room, you know that you're going to have a problem with that Negro.
So this FBA thing is. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna let you cook up. So go ahead, talk your shit, Stu.
Yeah, man. That's what. Anytime you encounter
his channel and all, it's like, bro, I didn't even know. Like, he got a different channel now. It's called FBA News. His channel, like, he got a whole different channel. I'm not even subscribed to it today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, it's just wild, man. I don't know. Well, go ahead, Stewpeas. You were saying something.
Yeah, no, that's the channel that's making the money now. People giving to the chat, people donating, giving to the chat, the super chats. So that's why he'll die on that hill. Making a couple $100 a night. Good.
Oh, okay.
But see, that's the grift, though. That's what I'm saying. Listen. That's the
grift. You gotta keep that going. You can't stop that.
That's like the grift. I'm telling you, Corey, everybody, what they doing is, right, they put in, and I'm not saying everybody in FBA, I'm pretty sure somebody got some good intentions, but for the most part, what they doing is very simple. You can see it from a mile away. They put in the reparations thing, they putting it way out into the clouds, like Amazon Web Service cloud, right? They're telling you, hey, there's these millions waiting for each and every foundational Black American. All you gotta do is rep the cause and spread the awareness, right? Now, while they telling you about this Powerball number that you about to hit, because you're a descendant of American slaves you think that somehow the United States is gonna just wake up and do the right thing, I guess. So they telling you this, but while they telling you that with the left hand, with the right hand, they got that shit in your wallet. And they got that shit in your Apple Pay. And they got that shit in your super chats. That's the grift. If you know that the people, if you know right now that the people that's listening to you talk about foundational Black America, all they trying to do is talk about these are people that need finances. These are people that need income. These are people that they need every dollar. Matter of fact, not only do they need every dollar they own, they need like an influx of cash, opportunities, whatever they can, right? But when they need all of that, if you taken from them talking about bullshit while promising this pie in the sky ass shit, that none of that, it may happen in our lifetime, but it damn sure ain't gonna happen because a nigga on YouTube is playing Tariq Nasheed videos or talking about fucking science or whatever the fuck they talking about with FBA now. That's the snake oil and that's the grift. They taking the little bit of dollars these people have while promising money that they have no control over. No, they don't have any control over making this shit happen faster. If anything, when people look at it, it's a snake oil sale.
That's why and he said basically the reason why he called me a coon is because I was agreeing with you saying that you said that on the video, and I agree with you, and so that's exactly what got me called a coon, Brad. Just to let you know that. I only see the clips y'all put in the chat. And even in the clip y'all put in the chat, I didn't even see I didn't see where he said it. And I saw that it's like 7 hours, so I'm not watching that shit. I'm not saying that. Let me see. Shouts to Babylon Dunn. He says, the whole time they blocked me from the panel, back chat, and Discord. Not anyone can come on the channel. Y'all Negroes believe your own lies. There, I said it. Hey man, you're probably right. If we have such a wild Discord, and we have a lot of wild chats that if you somehow get blocked or kicked out of here, you's a wild nigga. you definitely, for the amount of shit that we say to each other every day and then fucking end up talking about Monday Night Football or something and then come back and talk. If you get kicked out of here, you might need to go seek therapy or some shit. Cause we can tolerate a lot of shit. Babylon Dunn, I don't know what you did. You probably was out of bounds, brother. But you know what? Like I said, it's the season of giving. I'm gonna drop the link, and hopefully, I don't know. Maybe you come back in this motherfucker like you got some sense. So I'm gonna open that back up to everybody because I don't know. It might have been you might have said some shit to me or Logic or Chef. I don't know. But if you get too wild, you're not gonna survive it. You're not gonna survive. If you just throwing punches and we throwing punches, it's all good. But if you too ignorant, even though it says it is spelled your as in you are, we don't give a fuck about that, bro. Now you're reaching. Psycho, shouts to you, brother. Psycho said all of them is grifting. He says some of the followers are just ignorant and innocent in all of this, but all the FBA content creators. Psycho knows. Psycho knows.
Nah, you know what? I trust Psycho.
I know I ain't crazy. If Psycho,
yeah, I trust Psycho because Psycho actually has the patience. He has the patience. He's in the know. He knows these guys. So if he's saying they grifting, then I would say my intentions, and that's my Brick City brethren. So I'm sure he sees probably the same thing I'm seeing. The whole shit happens in waves, bro. It's all in waves. I've been around long enough to know when niggas ain't got nothing to talk about, they just start grifting and snake oil. Tis the season to be grifting, bro. Selling snake oil. And it's the ones you think ain't, it's the ones telling you they ain't selling snake oil, they're selling the most. Motherfucker telling you, I'm just trying to educate you and give you the correct information. Get the fuck out.
And Brad, you know the general consensus among people are bullshitting. You know how? You see how everybody fucking came off mute? You see, I couldn't come off mute. I was in the elevator. But you see how everybody came off mute to say fucking Psycho is solid? You see how like everybody has that same goddamn position? If I could have come off mute, I would have been like, yeah, shouts out to Psycho. If Psycho says it, yeah, I'm gonna roll with it. But everybody, you see, like it's not just one or two people. It's more than one person saying the shit, bro. You know, it's got to be some at least some validity to it. That's all I'm gonna say. You know? Let me drop the link. Because I was really an unbiased fan, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Is we live?
Yeah, we live right now. I had to call Trey Taylor down at Crew Tractor.
Lock him up.
Yeah, lock him up. I had to call Trey Taylor. I ain't want to, because nobody really has time to go live right now. But I mean, if we talking about something, I'll push the button. But yeah, I think this is all a grift. If you calling Corey a coon, there's something wrong with you. I talk to the man every day. I talk to him almost every day. That would be the last thing. That would be damn near the last thing I would hear somebody call him. But niggas with lips and mouths, they tend to talk. So.
And then, because I listened to the whole, I didn't listen to the whole show. I just listened to like 30 minutes last night or so. I probably listened to, it might have been an hour of it, actually. It was up until a point where this girl came on and then he was watching this other video about some other African dude. So that's about where I got to. And it's like, man, what is going on here? What in the hell is going on here, bro? You got some girl over here talking about all this wild ass Native American ass shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's sitting there agreeing with that, and it's like, unbiased, really? Like, what the fuck is? What's wrong with you? Like, I'm thinking to myself, I think I need to call him. You know what I'm saying? To see, like, is you playing? If you playing, I'm cool. I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? If you playing, bro, fine. The joke's on me. I fell for it, bro. You got me. You know what I mean? I'm a fool, right? You got me, right?
You got me. You got me.
You got me, man. But if you actually serious, bro, you can't be serious. Like, he cannot. Like, there's no way he can convince me, like, if he's claiming he's not playing, there's no way, shape, or form in this fucking world that he can convince me that he ain't lying and he don't know he lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit there on the panel with this girl, and she's and this is your channel. This is your channel. Now, Brass, imagine you sitting up, it's me and you. We're having a conversation, it's these wild ass niggas, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, we disagree with them, right? Then I start, it's only me and you on the panel, right? Then I go off into this wild tangent, right? About flat earth and this and that and the other, right? And the green people under the earth, right? And you don't say nothing. Bro, that, like, you are co-signing that. So she get on there and she talking about, we was been here and, the white man is lying. And I really can't remember. At that point, that's about when I was pretty much done listening to it. But, basically, because he even asked her at one point, he had to come in and ask her, well, is you a Moor? Is you one of them silent?
Oh, yeah, he had no clue.
Ron,
you know what I'm saying?
He didn't even know what she was talking about. He had he had to ground himself because she was so damn wild.
But he is scamming. Ron is scamming because he knows better than all of this. He's just going along with it for views. He's going along with it for views and for all these cash apps and stuff that he's getting. That's all he's doing. Now, he is a grifter. He really is running this way trying to...
I didn't even know like, he had gained this following. See, I'm just all finding all this out like as of last night, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So this was yesterday. This was yesterday.
It was last night. Like,
did you look at all his views? You look at his views for his past streams. He's got a nice little following. But it's all scam. He is scamming because he knows that.
And I watched the video the other day too. Somebody has shared a video with me of him the other day, and I didn't even realize that it was a different channel. You know what I'm saying? I just thought, somebody was like, yo, this is Unbiased channel. And then I listened to it, and I even put a comment in there. I think, I don't even know what I said, but I think I was agreeing with him because I didn't know like I didn't know this is where he was at, bro. I had no idea. I wouldn't expect Unbiased. Like you said, sister, he definitely know better than this. He definitely.
But why y'all keep saying that? How do y'all know him? Why do y'all keep saying he knows?
Because he was in the pseudo kill. I done had a million conversations.
Oh, so he was a pseudo killer too?
Yeah, he was a pseudo killer before I was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like him and Unc, it was him, Sheffrin, and Unc who really like it was Vans, Kent. They was already together when I came. It was Vans, Kent, Unbiased, Sheffrin, and Unc. They was already together. You know what I'm saying? I came in like we wasn't official yet. You know what I'm saying? I think we were just now starting to call ourselves the pseudo killers or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they already knew each other already. So you know what I'm saying? Before me, they was familiar with each other before I was familiar with them. You know what I'm saying?
It was like kind of before it was official, but yeah, I remember those. I was trying to think about what you were talking about, but yeah, I remember those early days.
So you talking about so small? So you was is this when you was
I'd call him a founder of the pseudo killers.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean,
you talking about but I thought he was talking about when was he Stephen A. Smith though? Y'all said he was
before PK. This was just this is what basically what I gathered. Like this is where he was doing the sports thing just before the whole PK thing. You know what I'm saying? As far as I understand, now I could be Sheffrin might know a little better than me. You know what I'm saying? But that's my understanding of it.
Yeah,
somebody check.
Yeah, he was before. He was before the pseudo killers because he knew of Garfield before me, right? Because he lives in Jersey. He's from your state.
I know he's from Jersey. That's Chef. When we did the Fat Joe conversation, I found out he was from Jersey.
Yeah.
Damn. No. We'll take that L.
As far as I know, Unbiased was my guy, right? Any of the pseudo shit, all of the shit that I be saying, he'd be right there standing toe to toe saying the same shit. The same shit, bro.
Nah, that's over with, Corey. He talking to Trey Taylor down the group. Taylor down the crew tractor. You're a coon now, bro.
but yeah, but do understand that though, Brad. He's right. Like Unbiased, he's pretty well.
What's that money maker?
He does have a history of being solid though, bro. Like
all right, hold on. Now I gotta call bullshit.
Money maker, bitch, dude.
Yeah. See, now I gotta call bullshit because if the nigga was in 1,000 groups, how you expect he ain't solid?
I mean,
he's a member.
I get what you're saying.
He's a no. Hey, and like in Jay-Z words, he a customer.
Yeah.
He's only a customer, bro. If you somehow found your way to where your worldview is being shaped many different ways by many different niggas, then you not ain't nothing solid. What's solid about that? Did the definition of solid change and I missed it?
Yeah, that's the wrong choice of words. I'm not.
Y'all done name. You know y'all named like 6 groups, right? You know that, right? You know. So far, y'all done named at least 6 different affiliations of what a motherfucker is, and he a black man. He a black man saying he's a black man calling other black men coons, and then as long as you send a cash app, we talking about unity for reparations.
Yeah.
What are we talking? What are we doing now?
Ooh, what that money make a bitch do?
What that money make a?
Oh, is that what you were saying,
Haskell? What that money make a bitch do? That's
Who said that?
That's a nigga from Atlanta.
So I think that's Sauce Walker. One of them niggas.
Nah, that ain't Sauce Walker. That's the nigga from Atlanta that rap with
Young Nudie.
Young Nudie.
It is Nudie. Yeah,
that money make a bitch do.
I didn't even know that.
Money make a bitch do.
Yeah, this is a motherfucker. I didn't even know that's what you were saying, bro. I heard you in the background. I know that's what you were saying.
Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna start talking about I'm here for Columbus. I'm here before Columbus for some cash apps. I ain't doing that.
Hey, Brad, it's tough out here, man. That's the bottom line, bro. It's rough out here, dog. Like, I'm keeping it 100. Like, niggas will get on this internet and pretend and play. Nigga, it's shit, nigga. It's shit, nigga.
I am saying though. Yeah, go ahead.
And look, if a person lose their job, right, and I just fire up the live and I say, you know what, fuck it, man. Where the direction I'm gonna go with this content shit? And I just fuck around and just do, try the FBA shit. Yeah, these Africans musty and all this shit, right? And then I look up, I got 300 people in the live stream. Niggas done hit me with $200 worth of cash apps on one live. You know what I'm talking about? If a nigga want to put on a headdress and go, what I'm supposed to do? The nigga just hit me. He just gave me $50. I'm gonna let him get that off, bro. Do you, my nigga? I'm not mad at it, bro.
So for $50, so for $50 now, YouTube could stop some forest fires looking ass. That's what we at.
Yes, smoking them.
That's what we at. For $50, YouTube could stop forest fires. Fake ass. Y'all niggas was here before Columbus for $50 fucking dollars.
Because I'm saying, Brass, right?
Because here's the thing, right? Real quick, Smalls.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because here's the thing, right? Okay, I don't necessarily need to believe in that. Because he'll say that, right? He'll give that disclaimer like, yo, look, I'm not with that. But if some of the other family or some of the other brothers and sisters, hey, that's on them. That's how he gonna carry that, right? But the reason why people like Smalls is saying he was solid is because 4 or 5 plus years ago, he was one of them people who was staunchly against quote unquote pseudo information. Right. So I don't know if you notice or not, him, Ankh, Garfield, and another guy, Asar, they had a vaccine debate with some scientists and
what's the white guy's name?
It's a few of them. It was a guy named James Lyons Weiler. He was an evolutionary biologist. You had Big Deltree, which is like he's like a media guy.
Dale Bigtree.
So he was there with Ankh doing that. He used to go hard on the Abos, making fun of them. He used to clown the Hebrew Israelites. So he's your typical anti-pseudo, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, so to see him letting the nigga get up on there with a headdress talking about he Cherokee and he not give no pushback. Niggas is like, hold on. But you was the most, that's like seeing who was the nigga on Hitler Squad, Himmler or Goebbels, the nigga was doing all the sick shit.
Himmler.
Yeah. Imagine seeing him like after all that shit, right? You see that nigga in a goddamn I don't know, Black Panther meeting or something saying, yo, we need to help the black people. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be like, hold on, what you doing over here, nigga?
Imagine you see me, Haskell, out with Infodishi selling gold wire.
Right.
That's equivalent. That's what
Hey, or if hold on. Or if I heard Corey joined the shrine, the nigga got on an ankh. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, hold on, Corey, what the fuck?
No, to me, it's more like Corey.
Corey said, imagine if you see me in Infodishi selling gold wire.
Gold wire. Nah, to me, it's worse than that, Corey. To me, it's worse than you. To me, it's worse than you telling me, hey, you don't gotta check the structural integrity of that goddamn that shit you just built. That's what it's like to me. Or it's like me telling a nigga like, I'm a truck driver, but you got the right to travel, nigga. You don't need that life according to Black Laws Dictionary. You don't need none of that shit. That's what that shit is like to me, bro. It's just so fucking contradictory. It's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's on a whole nother level, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Haskell, Unbiased know better than the shit he doing. Like, if nobody Haskell know the show, like, this nigga on, but I don't know what he on, but he on some bullshit, bro.
But
I know exactly what he on.
Corey, though. Hey, Corey, here's the problem. Hey, Corey, here's the problem. Now, this is what y'all saying that he know better. But what do you think the former Hebrew Israelites he was down with? What you think they saying? So it's like when you in too many of them groups and you saying he know better, they saying he know better. I'm starting to ask the question: do he know better? He can't know better. Like what's his level of know better? The nigga at one point was Reed. He was that guy. Another time he was giving you LeBron James is the new wave in basketball, or Tom Brady's the GOAT. Like when you do it, yeah, he was NOI.
He was NOI, but he didn't get no extra.
Let me get a motherfucking picture. Yo, because you know what this is giving me. You know what feeling this is giving me, right? Haskell, this is giving me James Smalls feelings now, bro. Now I'm starting to feel like, see, if a nigga was too many things, I gotta believe you was nothing at all. If you're too many goddamn things, like if you was a spy, Huey Newton ran on you, you was a motherfucker. You too much. He's too much.
I ain't gonna lie though, like all of them Black Power-ish type movements, they all tend to cross-pollinate anyway. Like,
but they diametrically oppose those, Haskell?
Not really, because like if you look
at and Hebrew Israelite is the same shit.
Well, they might be diametrically opposed on some, maybe I guess like some doctrine type of shit, but insofar as on the Black Power tip, because a lot of them NOI dudes be on the Black Power tip, like a Khalid, because a Khalid ain't like Louis Farrakhan. They had really different agendas. You know what I'm talking about? Like Khalid was on some nigga, we gonna burn this shit down, fuck these pussy crackers. You know, he on that shit, right? But a lot of the people who joined them organizations, even if they got what seems to be disparate like mission statements in each of them organizations, a lot of the people who joined it, they joined for that same intrinsic reason, which is to see our people do better. That's the general common thread that binds all of them type of people. So you might be Hebrew Israelite, you know what I'm talking about, but you're gonna link with a dude that's in the Moors, you're gonna link with a dude that's in the NOI, you're gonna link with, you feel me? Because they all kind of in the same sort of thinking, like, you feel what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that part
I think it's I hear you, but I can't get past, bro. If you was NOI, Hebrew Israelite, Stephen A. Smith, and motherfucking somehow here before Columbus, and now you telling me that you motherfucking foundational Black American, and you talking about reparations, you can't. One of them things it ain't real, brother. It ain't. So, somewhere in there, I gotta call cap, and I don't even gotta know you to call cap. Some of that shit, yeah, it don't make sense. Ask me.
It's too many hats.
It's too many. It's too many. Like, because my thing is, either you thought it was all bullshit, you just playing. That's cool. But if you taking cash apps and all of that, then you not playing. Now you stealing. You can't be talking about reparations and that black people need some kind of financial solidarity and this, that, and the other. But my question is to the niggas that's doing the grifting and the snake oil selling for reparations. We need protection from you niggas. You the niggas that we actually need to be like over cautious about. Y'all the ones taking a little bit of money until that pie in the sky ass fucking concept of reparations y'all got coming to fruition. If you promising me $20, but you asking me for 10, shit, you're not helping. We got to get you out the way. Nah, brother. No, this is a grift. And if Sister Safa call it a grift, it's definitely a grift. Because she's one of the most patient people with these niggas than I've ever met.
I don't knock nobody.
She jumped out the window. That ain't a hustle. I knock your hustle when you hustling us.
When you
hustling black people, I knock your hustle every time.
I don't know. My feelings on that then kind of change, because if people want to pay you money to feel good, you got some feel good rhetoric. Somebody trying to talk?
No. Somebody go on mute. Somebody was off mute.
Now I'm saying if somebody want to pay somebody to hear feel good rhetoric, and that's what they're paying for, and that's what they're getting. I mean, who am I, man? I can't. I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm not about to be more upset about you paying your money than you are. Like, what the fuck I'm gonna be like if you want to give somebody money to make a DVD, and then that person makes the DVD, turns around and then sells it to you, and you purchase the DVD. Okay, what am I gonna say about that?
All right, but Haskell, here's my question. Hey Haskell, you know when I'm having an issue with it? One, when you telling me that you serious. If I know you playing, none of this matters. But if you tell me you serious, and I bought a Hebrew Israelite video from you in 2000, I bought an NOI video from you in 98. Then I'm watching your sports highlights. Then I'm watching your you talking about, I don't know what he was doing on PK, but I guess evolution or anthropology or some shit. And now I'm supposed to believe that you was here before Columbus. At some point, you got to be put out the pasture. If at some point we gotta say, this white, the nigga is definitely worse than the white man. Whatever white man y'all complaining about, this nigga's worse. He's worse, bro. If you can't be talking about unity and calling niggas coons. I thought we sorted this shit out months ago.
What did he say about Corey?
What did I miss, yo? What did I miss?
Yeah, I missed that part of it too. Like, he went in on Corey?
How did y'all get here?
When motherfuckers is talking all this unity, it's always the niggas talking this unity shit. It's always the niggas talking the unity shit. Is the first nigga that's gonna say the most divisive shit in the room.
Oh, hold on, though, Brass. Who he called it? Where, and who did he call it? When did this happen?
It's in the chat. I'm just letting Stewpeas and Corey get their get back. They talking to niggas that Corey got a channel, so he can get his get back. Stewpeas ain't got no channel. When you talk shit about Stewpeas, all he can do is come on your panel and wait for you to mute him. See? But Stewpeas, my guy. Y'all, I already told y'all, reparations come. Just send me your account and routing, brother. I got you. If that makes me a tether, then I've been called worse.
You're a tether for that.
Hey, I've been called worse. My mama still love me, bro. If y'all tell my mother I'm a tether, she gonna say I still love her.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, Corey and the guys. I don't know. For me, it's all entertainment, man. That's what I've come to realize. Like a few months ago, I would go on his channel, call myself arguing with him and shit, trying to defend Garvey because he was shitting on Garvey at one point and all of this shit. And then it occurred to me, I'm like, man, these niggas ain't serious, man. That shit all entertainment, man. And once I started looking at it from that viewpoint, I'm like, okay, I could have fun about it. Cause look, like last night, I was watching another content creator, right? And somebody came up. He's an FBA content creator. Somebody came up and was saying, hey, one of the guys that you're affiliated with is talking all this shit, right? But he got a Jamaican baby mama. And you know what dude said? Dude said, well, we wasn't on the delineation movement 5-10 years ago. So
it don't matter, bro.
So,
it don't.
Wait, in my mind, what I'm thinking is, wait a minute. So, but I'm saying what that implied to me, Brass, is so going forward, potentially you gonna turn down tether vagina, like you want it like that, like it's some real delineation for real shit, like you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to figure out where they getting all these women from when they talk about FBA. What woman is sitting there listening to niggas talk about phylogenetic trees and ethnogenesis and all this other shit? Like, there's no women involved in this. We're not talking about women conversations. If you sat down and talked about 10% of the shit niggas talk about in the conscious community with any woman of any repute, if that's it, bro. And she gonna call you crazy.
Nobody is listening to that in real life because, like I said before, if we're gonna listen to you talking about some whatever they have to do with science, we can just go somewhere and learn that and get some credit and advance ourselves and get some money off of it. We're not going to be listening to some of these Negroes. So it's entertainment and stuff like that. And that's just it. Now I want to say one more thing about Ron. Now, I know some of you guys are not a fan of the NOI, but one thing I can say from being in NOI, this is how I know he is just making up stuff and he's going along with the grift, is that we don't teach anything like what he's talking about in a nation. So that means that even when he was in a nation, he was probably just lying or just there for, I don't know, maybe he felt like he needed somewhere to be. But you got to be careful with some of these people who float around from organization to organization to religion to religion to religion. That actually is a sign of some mental illness when you're floating around every couple of years trying to figure out your identity. So it's just crazy. For me, just the fact that he used to be in the nation or he claims he used to be in the nation and that he is now on this to this degree and feeding it to the people, that's just telling me that he's grifting.
Yeah, that. I think that's what Brass was kind of speaking to, and it's kind of seeming like that, Sister Sapa. I'm not gonna lie.
I was mad before Askel come on, and then Askel give me a reality check. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins. Do you want to be a baller, shot caller? It's all about the money. The dude getting some money off this dude thing.
Yeah, but it's not entertainment. It's not entertainment when you're calling black people. Hold on, Sister Sapa. But let's be clear, when y'all yelling entertainment, that shit sound cool. It's a good tagline. But it ain't entertainment when you calling niggas coons, bro. That shit is not. It's not entertainment.
Boy,
that shit is not. That ain't no fucking. That's
not. Not like that coon word, boy.
Like that. Well, you know that. I had to go get Chef. I blame Chef because I wouldn't even know this nigga if it wasn't for Chef. I wouldn't even have heard of him if it weren't for Chef. So, Chef, your man has now declared war on Carnivorous Podcast. What say you?
Let's go get him.
That's all I wanted.
He easy. You feel me?
What he said about
we should create a new organization so he could join it.
He said Chef is easy. You gonna go back and kill him. He a tether. He's like, Chef, you're a tether.
He called Chef a tether?
For tether, that's crazy.
Hey,
Chef is a Baltimore. Chef is a barber from Baltimore. How the fuck
you know what's funny about that shit,
what the
right?
fuck does a tether mean at this point, then?
Recently, Tyreek was reviewing the shit with the James Small shit, right? When that was going on. And that nigga got on this thing and said, them Baltimore niggas all, because he saw Ankh shit. Ankh was up there talking shit. Basically saying that shit is a threat or whatever, right?
He said we was agents.
Yeah, the nigga Tyreek.
The Baltimore's
the nigga Tyreek. But look, that ain't even the funny part, right? The nigga Tyreek said niggas from Baltimore have traditionally been agents. Like that's like a long running Baltimore tradition, right? Nigga, why everybody like in the chat that's like a part of his audience in the comments, all them niggas co-sign. You know, that is true, man. Yeah, the Baltimore niggas.
Dumb shit.
Remember Haskell? He said the no snitching movement started in fucking Baltimore.
It did start in Baltimore.
Yeah, the no snitching shit.
Well, you got to think, the only motherfuckers people from Baltimore should be mad at is HBO, bro. Because HBO put y'all up like the only thing y'all got is motherfucking drugs and motherfucking cop shit and snitches and shit and murderers. And Baltimore is a beautiful fucking place. But let HBO tell it, between the corner and the wire, Baltimore ain't shit.
But Chef, think about how real quick, Chef,
up in it.
How scary is that shit? That all that nigga, because I ain't never heard no nigga before in the days of my life say no shit like that, right? This nigga Tyreek say it one time. And you know that is true, man.
Everybody like,
I say the same thing too, man. Yeah, my uncle used to say that, man. Yeah, for real. I'm like, yo, this nigga is a dangerous nigga, man.
Yeah,
like that nigga.
Hey, you know this sound like Haskell? That's a bunch of niggas that's been in a bunch of different groups. One nigga say something, it's like what does they call that shit in movies? Nigga with a hide.
That nigga Tyreek, the pod motherfucking piper, bruh.
Yeah, he the GOAT. He might be the GOAT.
Niggas be like, yeah, man, them Baltimore niggas been like that, man. Yeah, man, I swear to God, I was saying the same shit back in 2002, man. I've been saying that, man.
Unbiased ain't Tariq though.
Yeah, how the hell you know? I know that one time you told me to turn to his channel. You remember what I said to you? I said, which channel is his? Because when I turned to his channel, this was during the Fat Joe shit. The nigga had Tariq. I thought it was because remember I hit you back. I was like, yo, is this nigga like a Tariq?
He just be playing Tariq videos.
It's like the whole shit was like Tariq Nasheed. It wasn't like no commentary. It wasn't no panel. It was just a fucking Tariq Nasheed radio type shit.
That's some weird shit.
Nah, you said he was solid 30 minutes ago. Don't backtrack.
But Tariq,
I can say
it's crazy. But Tariq said that about Baltimore. He named 2 other cities along with it. Like, how do you do that? He said Baltimore, Chicago, and there was another city. He said, I said, how did you even, like, bro, you know you do got to move around, bro. You might don't have to come to Baltimore, but you're going to come to Philly or D.C. You're going to be sandwiched in between that. And then to throw Chicago in it, nigga, you got to go to Chicago. You too big of a personality to not go nowhere near Chicago to be talking crazy like that. Like that's
what he said about Chicago.
He said Baltimore, Chicago, and I think Detroit was the 3 biggest agent cities for black people. It was crazy. I'm like, yo, why would you even?
Where the black people at? And then say that's. Nah, hey Corey, that's where that trash ass mink slide wasn't trending. That's so the only.
Where the fuck is this nigga from? If he can hit Baltimore, Chicago, and Detroit all in one, where is he from?
Right. I don't know. Hey,
he's from Alabama, but in LA.
He from LA?
How do y'all know how do y'all know this shit?
Whoa. He is not from LA. He is not from LA. Let's get that straight. He ain't from LA.
Nah, not if nobody want to claim the nigga. He from LA. That's where he from. Now you don't want to claim him, huh, Howard? Now you don't want nothing to do with him.
He Grape Street.
Yeah, he a Grape Street. That nigga ain't never claimed. Hey, Howard, what he did was he looked at that Excel spreadsheet of them donations. And then was the 3 places where niggas wasn't going for that shit. Them is the 3 lowest places. Hey, give me the list. Go start from the bottom. Chicago, Baltimore, LA.
Great Street.
That nigga went straight to Jordan Down Projects and started talking shit.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So Unbiased, where Corey at? What Unbiased do?
He just called him straight out.
He said he just listen. He listened to our discussion the other day when we were talking about Diddy, but then we went in. I think Brad like titled the show like later on or what. I don't know what Brad did. He titled the show FBA, so that's what called Unbiased is.
Yes. Click on.
Strategic.
No, hold on. See, now I see it. I'm about to start calling y'all niggas some names in 2 seconds. Y'all ain't about to, y'all ain't about to do me like Kareem off New Jack City. Listen, I ain't the nigga down there that work at the bank. The nigga, y'all niggas, we was talking about FBA in the chat and grifting.
Oh,
and then we joined the Discord and somebody, ain't gonna say the nigga name. If you want to speak, you can speak. That nigga said hit the button. I'm like, you sure you want to hit the button? I said, did you call Trey Taylor down at Crew Tractor? Are we sure we about to hit the button? That nigga said, yeah. So we was talking about FBA right then, and then somebody said, hey, did you see that Diddy documentary? And then we just started talking about that, because niggas don't give a fuck about. We don't need a conversation to get cool. We're not about to like, hey, let's talk about FBA, because everybody else talking about it. I don't give a fuck about that conversation.
No,
y'all niggas use that to get views. That's not us, bro.
Really wasn't the reason why we went on. You know what I'm saying? It's like what I guess what was talked about in the chat, like you said.
Right.
Like wow. So he listened to that discussion, and I guess like 7-8 hours into the discussion, we finally got to talking about reparations. Now we really wasn't talking about FBA per se, but you know, like how the reparations and FBA kind of tie in to one another, right? So that's kind of basically what we were saying. He heard Brad say about Stewpeas, like you know, why is we trying to divide between us and Stewpeas? And you know, it's a bunch of divisive shit. And then I went on this and said that I agree with Brass in so many ways, right? And so he was like, "Yeah, that's some tether and ape," and you know, he called me a coon. But then you were saying something, Jeffrey, and he was like, "Yeah, that dude right there, I know him, and if he really wanted to have a discussion, he just come on my channel and have a discussion, and he just a coon or whatever." It was like, man, damn, for real. I don't get it.
You know the crazy. Somehow it's gonna be my fault.
That's basically kind of in a nutshell. Like I think old girl, what's her name? Mika was going to see if she can get a hold of him, and he was gonna come on the Discord today.
Okay, can I talk about?
He ain't gonna do no shit like that.
We know better than that. Like,
okay, when you done, let Reggie get in there. Go ahead, Corey.
No, I was just telling Chef. I was really it's on Chef really, but I'm just saying I don't think he would come on here because he know that, bro. We know you know better than that bullshit. Unbiased, cut this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Cut this shit out, Unbiased. What the hell is wrong with you? You know, that's exactly what we would say. So he definitely ain't gonna come over here with that bullshit.
Hey, Reggie, I heard FBA started in Castle Hill Project. So you gonna I heard the roots of the FBA movement started in the Bronx. Like
not possible. Castle Hill's about sex, money, and murder. So
what you think FBA is about? For what I'm hearing, these niggas is gangsters, Reggie. Some shit. It ain't much different.
Okay, so here's my take. So I'm probably one of the only people on this chat that's ever talked to Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed is just a cool dude, regular brother, right? When you talk to him, but he's a brand builder. He's a magnificent brand builder. He has a voice. He's somewhat entertaining. He's really a comedian, right? But he was building a brand that had something to do with explosion of people, the explosion of our identity crisis, right? So he began to build that brand, the Hidden Colors, right? When he built that brand, he came to many of the people that I know, Brother Kaba, all the people that was or that I met, Francis Cress Wilson, all of these people I met in real life. Almost
a lot
every
of snake oil salesmen. But go ahead, guys.
So that's why that's okay. So he built the brand. So he built an incredible audience, right? And of course he did. He built this brand. You know, at the same time, Sarnetto was selling DVDs on the street, DVDs on the street. So he created this documentary.
You're funny, bro. I swear to God, you're the best storyteller. Go ahead. I apologize. I'm sorry, but I just had to say,
Reggie, I hope this ends with you somehow giving a compliment, because so far, all you've told me is this is a perfect storm of grifted and snake oil salesman. But go ahead. He was basically came around the same time as the It Clown of grift oil and snake oil. But go ahead. I think you about to say something positive. I hope.
No, I'm getting to it, but I want to tell the history. So he stepped ahead. He stepped ahead of the DVD sellers by making a national series on on an identity crisis. So he created a documentary, really well done in his time as far as visual, audio, well produced. So now he has a collection of scholars or let's say I'll just say thinkers, speakers,
personalities.
Personality.
I know. If you call Unbiased Ron a scholar, I'm muting you for 15 minutes.
No, he's not in it. I don't know if Unbiased Ron ever met Tariq Nasheed in person, in real life. So what happens now is that, these are the babies of Tariq Nasheed, but I really wanted to characterize it. So he used a number of resources in the community, because what happened is that people were moving from in person to online, and Tariq Nasheed captured that audience, right? And so now he has a huge audience, right? And so you could see him talking about Tommy Sotomayor, things that are also relevant. So he moved from history, or his version of history, to things that were happening in the community. So he built a giant station, which he calls Tariq Radio, right? Okay, so now the system with Professor Small is that Professor Small became one of his personalities, right? But Professor Small was always who Professor Small is. But when you're in that package, some of that drift, I'm just going to say drift happens. Okay. But Professor Small was always diverged from what they were thinking in general, right? But the diverge happened because one of their people, this guy named Black Authority, whose real name is AKA Jeremy Lloyd Smith, right? Jason, AKA Jason Black, dug into one of the videos where Professor Small was talking. Professor Small talks about a lot of different categories, but he dug in it and he pulled out this thing. James Small says that FBA is CIA. Okay. Jeremy Lloyd Smith, right, AKA Jason Black, you could search him and you can find that allegedly, not really allegedly, but if it's the same person, had a revenge porn case, right, that ended in a guilty plea. Okay, I'm getting to Unbiased Ron.
Let him. At this point, we gotta just let him go, because I now want to see how this ends. Go ahead. So now we have revenge porn. Go ahead, finish up.
All right. So what happens is that Tariq Nasheed builds this incredible brand, and then because they say that it's not an organization, then other people can build a brand on top of it. So that's the Alpha Network channel, right? That have 2,000 people on their live.
So he's franchising, basically. He's building a franchise, basically. Not kind of a brand.
Well, not that he's getting direct residuals from, but he's building his brand. His brand is exploding without him, right? Other people coming to make money, YouTube money. So that's the Black Authority, that's the Alpha Network, that's Afro Elite, and then that's Unbiased Ron, who was formerly, of course, we know him as Unbiased Sports on Sonetta Studios.
And a Hebrew Israelite, and a member in NOI, and a pseudo killer, all in one life.
Right. So he branches. So he reframes himself. There's a better word for that, but he renews himself under this FBA. That all you have to do is say FBA, and you can get clicks. You can get views. So that helps build your channel. So then, if you're in the YouTube business, you're going to get residual AdSense money from, how can I say, by white advertisers, largely white advertisers, right? Now, Unbiased Sports, what he does is that he knows a number of people, so he tries to get you on his page, right? So when he gets you on his page, he has the power. Then he has complete control. But he's also just doing it for clicks and giggles. Now, just to scale this down, is that the FBA movement itself has a big problem, which I exposed. I exposed it. One is that they use dictionary words wrong. Lineage has something to do with a descent line of a family. Lineage does not.
You the one who told Unc that you got Unc all twisted up with that fucked up definition that you use, and I don't agree with it. I knew Unc got that shit from somewhere, because Unc keeps saying it and he's using it wrong, so he got that shit from you. But go ahead.
Okay, Smarty. But that's Baltimore talk.
Hey, we could table that and come back. We could table that and come back.
So, well, I'm gonna table it with my brother Chef. That's contrarian. But what I'm gonna say is that lineage, if you look at we use dictionary items to speak English. Lineage has something to do with a particular family line, right? Grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents. In no way does
lineage has a wide range. It's more than that. But go ahead.
No, it's not.
Yes, it does have more than that context to it, bro. Like, yo, why would
Go ahead and sort this shit out now. Go ahead and sort it out, because we ain't gonna go.
I ain't sorting that out. Everybody know better than that.
No, absolutely not. Just because you say, now let me just do this.
Just because you say,
hey,
you're the one who gave the narrow definition and say that's the only context to use lineage in. You said that.
Well, not only me. Not me, because I got it from the dictionary. But what your coward self won't do is pull up the dictionary, right? You won't pull up the dictionary, right, to show the wide range. Because if you understood dictionary, they will start with the most how can I say, the most accepted definition, and then they will go down to the colloquial definitions. Now, the colloquial definitions are lower. So why don't your smarty pants pull up the definition of lineage so that we can see that play, right? So if it goes to colloquial, the colloquials is just what we use in common speech, and that's what makes it wide range. But if you want to know what the etymology of the word, you would go to the top three definitions.
I'll never let nobody get you with etymology.
Okay, that's fine. I'm moving on. So then they have a second problem. Besides misusing the word lineage, they have a problem with delineate, because they believe that delineate has something to do with lineage. Delineation has something to do with setting boundaries, right? But having nothing to do with delineate. So what they do is they blend lineage and delineate and make it seem as if it's the same grouping. It's not. Africans were already on the continent of Africa delineated not because of boundaries, because of where they lived, right? That they were separated and had separate cultures already. They were delineated, and the European came and did divide and conquer, right? So they were able to go and see the delineations and then divide those groups. Some of them were in close proximity. That was an accelerator of slavery, where for example, the Akan groups of people, the Shanti, the Fante, the Ewe, the Ga, right? They partnered with various different Europeans, partnered with different groups that we were already delineated, right? The Europeans came and did divide and conquer, right? So the third problem they have is reparations. They tout reparations as if they know what reparations is, right? Their problem with reparations is that they're not on any commissions, they're not writing. What they're trying to do is bully people to take their form and say reparations has to be about lineage. But the problem with that is that the appellate court, under the last reparations case that made the standard, which is the Pelman Farmer reparations case, they said a harm to your ancestor is not a harm to you, right? And a harm, and then they also said that the time period of slavery is just too problematic for us to reward the descendants, or for the descendants to make a case that they in fact should receive reparations for the harm of their ancestors, because of course there's lots of problems. Another major part of the reparations case that was disastrous is that the plaintiffs have to in legalese, right? The plaintiffs have to be the rightful, how can I say, the rightful heirs of a person's estate. If we cannot meet that burden, right, that is problematic, because you could ask for reparations, but your cousin might say that no, you don't have any more rights than me, right?
Wrap it up.
Becomes a problem in law. That's just basic law about estates, right? That now these are hurdles that can be fixed under a class action suit using not ancestry relationships, but things like disparate impact, right? So they have a problem with, because of the Pelman Farmer case, and then reparations itself has moved from the national, meaning federal, right? Courts, it's moved from the federal and the courts. It has moved to local reparations, meaning in city and counties, right? That is where we're seeing any success in reparations, when a state, sections of a state can try to deliver reparation programs. But there's a problem with that, the language. Once you say that you're asking for reparations simply because you're Black, simply because you claim that there's a lineage in slavery, right? Then that is something that the state can't give, the city can't give, the county can't give, because there's something called the 14th Amendment and the Equal Protection Clause. The Equal Protection Clause says you can't reward a group simply because of race. Okay, so then what happens is, once a program is accepted for reparations and they try to deliver reparations, then there are what you call equal protection groups that will say, no, you can't, it's illegal. You can't do it by race because of the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause. Okay, so then what that in court, what happens is there's something called strict scrutiny. strict scrutiny says now that the government agency that's trying to give reparations, they are illegal and they have to defend themselves. Now that costs millions of dollars when a city or state is sued, right, for reparation. So all reparation programs are now, how can I say, rewording and taking out race, taking out lineage, taking out things like ancestors, and they're going into something called harm-based reparations.
Yeah,
where,
Reggie, we know this.
Okay, I'm glad you know it.
Yeah, we had this conversation. We had this conversation already about where this got to go, the OMB, Congress, and how the Puerto Ricans got the Latino. We know that part. What we trying to figure out is these guys doing these conversations on FBA and these conversations on all of this, is that it's all a grift. They're taking a little bit of money that these people have, and they're promising them this pie in the sky cloud of, you're going to get this money 100 years from now, but for now, until you get it, let's call all these people tethers, let's divide up everybody while trying to unify everybody and sell some fucking snake oil. That's all we're saying. We're not, I agree with that. We understand the difficulty of reparations case. That's clear.
Right. So I gave you all the different categories. Their wording is wrong. Their wording is wrong. Their use of reparations is wrong. It's brand building, and their history is wrong. Yeah. So what they're trying to do is get into people's emotions that they stole us, they owe us. That's the old word that they used to say in New York. They stole us, they owe us. The December 12th coalition, right? Okay. So now that turns into, well, the same as a Umar, something that when it doesn't happen, you blame everybody else. You blame the tethers, you blame the Negroes, you blame everybody because they're stopping reparations, but they don't have a plan for any of the things that they say. So Ron Bias, Ron, whatever his name is, Ron FBA now, right, who moves from organizations, is simply building, he's a baby of this brand that Tariq Nasheed built. So the problem is every time we go on his show, like this show, will be content, right? And the way that they will handle it is they'll go pull some Somali that's in Somaliland or in Somalia, or some Somali in the Twin States, right? And they will pull them out and they will show their hate for Black people and their hate for America, or they pull some Nigerian straight from Nigeria, or get some Nigerian that's reacting to our own xenophobia, right? That's content for them. That's easy to show, right? So if I've added anything to it, it's just that what I'm adding only is to say that you are correct, that it's a grift, it's a brand, it's something preying on our people who are everyday working people or not working people who are struggling, right? To now, it's the same thing that Hitler did, right? Hitler first attacked, before he attacked the Jews, he attacked the fringes of the society, the impoverished, the poor. He attacked them. They were the first ones to die. And then he got stronger, and then he was able to begin to attack, make Jewish people in Germany, whom a lot of them are related to, the scapegoats. So we are scapegoating ourselves. Okay, I'll stop.
No, right. So also what I would say before Chief X go, this one play, and I agree with a lot of what you said, but I would just say, and you probably know what I'm about to say. But when you call it, I like to call it specifically what it is, so that it doesn't get the confusion from the people in the back. When we say that Tariq Nasheed is a great brand builder, or that he's very, he made great documentaries and this, that, and the other, if it's all complicit in the grift and snake oil, then he's a great snake oil salesman. He's a great grifter. He's not a great builder of brands. Like we can play around with the wording, but when I'm not saying that's what you're doing. But when the wording gets played that he's somehow a businessman or he's somehow all he's doing is this to the tune of a couple, 10, 20, 30, I don't know how much money you're making per month. And then now he's got other people getting cash apps based on the same grift. And then here's the other grift. The grift now is to somehow go at them, accept the same cash apps, accept the same what's the name, when the whole thing is bullshit. So even the people that somehow now trying to apply science to it or somehow trying to bring some kind of clarity to it, they're grifting too. So it's basically a whole grift. Wow. We trying to figure out how to make it day to day. You said the average working person. Yes. The average working person just listening to this, yes, they don't know. They don't know who's saying what, this, that, and the other. All they know is it's making them feel good. And while once again, in their left hand, somebody pointing to the sky saying we need reparations, we're gonna get reparations, and they thinking they getting this large number. They got their right hand in their pocket taking these people's money. I'm talking about the people that's speaking against them and the people that's speaking for it. So I understand what you mean. He's a brand builder. I understand it. But just for clarity, for me, I think it's clear we understand that this is one big grift on both sides.
Okay, well, the reason I am on this show is just to simply help. I want to tell you something.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
So I want to tell you something about law. Okay, so
hold on, I love you get to talk.
Hold on, Reggie. Hey, Chief. So take about 2 minutes, Reggie, and then let Chief get in there.
All right. So Tariq Nasheed is a public figure. Calling Tariq Nasheed a grifter, straight up and down. If you are a person that he can sue, he has enough money to drag you into court, right? So someone like you, Brass, right? He's not going to drag everybody that's on his channel into court. He's going to drag you into court. Why? Because you called him a name, and now you're going to have to show it in court. That's called defamation and slander. So what these people have as a weapon is that they have enough money and they have lawyers to drag particular people of wealth who disagree because of a bad choice of language into a courtroom, right? Now, you don't want to go to court. You know how expensive lawyers are. You do know.
Yeah.
Right? They're $450 to $600 an hour. You don't want to be dragged into court, Brass. The other people, they could be dragged into court, right? Sheffrin don't want to be dragged into court because he's a legitimate business owner, right? With assets. You got to be careful because they will use the law, not saying that they're going to win their case, but you can lose the case because you simply run out of money, right? And you have to settle. Hence, Dane Calloway, if y'all don't know, was in court because he used.
Finish. I get your point, though, Reggie.
Okay, my point is just generally, you be careful. Sheffrin, be careful, right? Anybody with some real money and assets, right, who's housing their family and property, y'all be careful with this because the other part of law is that they make money by suing you. All right? Okay, I'll stop.
Okay, go ahead, Chief. Appreciate that.
Okay, cool. So, fuck Tariq Nasheed. Okay, he's not taking nobody to court. We're not scared of him. He's a fucking grifter, and I'll say it 10 times on YouTube. He's not gonna do shit to nobody. Okay, we got to stop this glazing of Tariq Nasheed. Okay, that was a thing of Tariq Nasheed we just heard. Sinetta TV and all his cronies have always glazed Tariq Nasheed. Not one person, neither Reggie, has ever called Tariq Nasheed out. No one, none of them cats has ever critiqued his videos or on history or his information. Only information that Reggie will critique is other Egyptomaniacs. But when these cats over all these decades been pushing pseudo history, revised history, Reggie's never said a word. So he likes Tariq Nasheed. This is why he said I met him and this and that and glazing him and trying to make him sound like he's some kind of hell of a businessman. He got popular by when he wrote the book about pimping. That's how he got popular. You didn't mention that because that's not a something to verify. Let's just put it out there real. He's from LA. I'm from LA. I've ran into him several times. He got popular writing books on how to pimp, how to pimp a black bitch. Okay, let's just be real. Then all this other shit he started talking about. Now, Reggie, and I'm not trying to come for you, but I just need some clarity after I finish. Okay, I've watched Sonnet and you guys interview Tariq Nasheed. Just 3 years ago, Dr. Issa, Dr. Faraji from Cal State Layout here was on Sonetter's TV talking about from the Nile River to the Niger River in West Africa on to the Potomac River in the United States of America. What they were saying when they say that is Black Americans are descended of ancient Egyptians. And this is what they was pushing. They made a whole video claiming that Black Americans are descendants of the Egyptians. They also got to talking about we the original Americans. We were here first. This is a whole show they did. I did a video combating it. Reggie, you never responded. You sat there just 3 years ago and co-signed them. You even did a lightweight presentation on the video to co-sign and say that you guys are correct. We are the Black ancient Egyptians. You've seen the video. You never responded. Stop glazing Tariq Nasheed because you glaze him because you're down with revised history. You've always been down and supported anyone who kicked fake revised history. You've never, ever corrected them. To this day, you won't correct them. But you'll correct anybody talking about ancient Egypt. So I don't know where you stand sometimes, Reggie. You say this and that. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. I'm not insulting you. I'm just stating the facts. That video is on my page. Why you didn't respond? Why are you co-signing us being from the Americas? Why are you co-signing Black Americans being the direct, not indirect, the direct descendants of the ancient Egyptians? I thought that was foul, and I'm sick of all you grifters running your mouth on platforms for views and all kind of dumb shit, and you know what you're doing. You're playing on the emotions of Black folk. That's all you guys have done. Played on the emotions of Black folk to grift them for money in cash apps. If you went against all that shit, then you wouldn't be getting cash apps. So you agree with the fake history just so you can get cash apps. You don't want to be an outcast. Fuck Tariq Nasheed. To me, he's a devil. And let me distinguish. I'm not mad at nobody who got history wrong or who thought this and this, they pushing this because this is what they think. That's fine. They're just naive and just don't know yet. But you guys, Tariq Nasheed, all you cats know better. You guys are intentionally and purposely miseducating Black folk. This is why I call you a devil, when you intentionally do this shit. And I'm sick of it. That's why I had to come out. I'm sick of it.
You've been out for a long time. And I mean out.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I'm done. Do you agree? But from the Nile to the Niger River in West Africa to the Potomac River here, do you agree with that? Because you co-signed them and did a presentation. Did you not?
I don't agree with anything from. I don't agree that we're ancestors of the ancient Egyptians. I don't agree that that it went from except for culture and human connections.
Now, you know you can't go back on Sonetta TV after you said that.
No, I can because I'm Brother Reggie.
That's not an ancestor of the ancient Egyptians. No, you know that's it. That's the end of your career.
Well, yeah, thank you, Corey. Corey, I'm from West Central Africa, right? Through ancient admixture, Africans migrated, particular family lines migrated throughout Africa, right? For their cattle, for water, for climate, right? Those things only through my DNA do I know exactly where my haplogroups went, but that's just my haplogroups. Those are not conscious beings. What I'm saying to you, Brass, is that when you do a show like this, and you let someone comes in and they just talk without facts, you injure yourself, right? You have to demand particular facts. Dr. Faraji, Salim Faraji, I've known him for many years. He's a PhD. He's an accepted scholar. I don't see white critics criticizing him. The reason why he doesn't go on YouTube because the people on YouTube are not disciplined, so he doesn't do that anymore. Dr. Issa also tries to avoid it. All he wants to do is teach. He's a PhD from Howard University. He came to this community. He came to this community to give just some education. Dr. Salim Faraji has a book talking about the Tumuli from West Africa, the other direction, from West Africa to the Nile Valley, not from the Nile Valley to West Africa, but from West Africa to the Nile Valley, right? And so he has a publication out there. So his scholarship is on the line. Chief X with a bottle and some weed can come on to anything that he wants, right? But I know for a fact, right, before marijuana was deemed some quasi legal, you was selling that shit, right, illegally, right? Now, I'm not so clear as to the harm it does for Black people, but you are a drug dealer. You're a bona fide drug dealer. Now, so the question is, you want to attack me? You want to attack me on some scholarship? You can do that, but I'm not so sure. I'm not completely sure that this marijuana and stuff does not harm Black people, especially when it's laced. But you're a part of that industry, so you shut your mouth.
Oh shit!
Hey, Reggie, hold on. You know the funny thing. You know the funny thing about when y'all had these conversations, because y'all go kind of like all over the place. I didn't realize really what you were saying. I could never. Just so we're clear on these Egyptian conversations, I don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. So I could never stop somebody and say, hey, that's not true, because I don't know. The other part is, how in the hell did this end? All of that end with that Chief X is a drug dealer. Where did this come from? That's not. I don't think that's what he was doing with you just then. That's just my opinion.
Character assassination, you get it. Throw some at the wall and see what sticks right here. So look here, Reggie just lied and said, well, hold on, we're Faraji and there's good scholars and they have PhDs. I said Dr. Issa and Dr. Faraji, who works at Cal State LA. Yeah, they have degrees, and they're both full of shit. They're stone cold, hardcore Afrocentrics, and they're full of shit. They came to the okay, and it didn't work out because nobody took to him, and everybody Dr. Issa, and he got his fat ass on. Okay, now Reggie's gonna sit here and lie and act like what I said wasn't true. Oh, talking about they got some writings on going from West Africa to the Nile, but no, I'm gonna post a video in the Discord, and y'all gotta lean on Reggie and say, Reggie, why did you co-sign that shit? They were saying that we are black, that we are the ancient Egyptians directly. And you did a presentation helping them teach the people this. Reggie, I will post a video. I'm not gonna lie on you. I never lied on nobody. I'm gonna tell the truth, uncomfortable truth or not. I'm gonna tell the truth.
Hey, so real quick, Chief, so we could kind of stay on what we was talking about. So based on Ron, because we started this, and I apologize, Stewpeas. If you want to jump in, we did the video because of Stewpeas and Corey, basically. What based on the history of what you know about Ron, is this even credible at this point, as far as like the FBA situation and what he's talking about? Is it even like a credible conversation, or is it something we could just kind of like table and just move forward?
I think it's important to inform the community about the history of Unbiased Sports, where he came from, the type of training he has, and what he is doing, and as if his critiques are legitimate. So I do think it's that. I think if people want to talk about Tariq Nasheed, they can, but some people need to be more responsible, because you can, if you don't want to be pulled in court and start looking for information when all of a sudden channels are taking that. He will take down the evidence that you need, right? And so you'll be left in discovery, which would be very, very expensive. As far as Chief X is concerned, we grow with more information, but he wants to criticize people. He wants to criticize people's scholarship. He's not a scholar. He's not a writer. He's none of those things. He has a freedom of speech. We all have freedom of speech. He could say what he wants, but the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, he still made a business selling marijuana when it was illegal. Right? When it was illegal. Young people use marijuana. We have a problem with our young people using marijuana, right?
Well, real quick, you should tell people you've been employed for the last 40 years. Did you mention that to these people? That you ain't had a job in years?
Y'all about to start playing dirt. Is that what we
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so
you start all this time.
Listen, if y'all keep it cool, if y'all keep it cool,
hold on, let Chef go. Let Chef get in there.
Yeah, if y'all could keep it cool, right, and then to elders, and then we could actually put some money in y'all pocket to debate the Potomac to the Nile to the Niger.
I don't agree with that. Why would you put money in the pocket? I don't agree. I was on a conference with them with a lot of scholars.
Well, he claimed you did. Well, you take the debate. He claimed you did. That's easy money for you then.
How much? And now I gotta say it. How much? Just tell us how much is it, bro?
Video, so don't see. I was trying to keep it on scholarship. I was talking about Tariq Nasheed.
You wasn't keeping on scholarship. You was calling people a whole bunch of names. You drug dealer.
I called Tariq a grifter. But I even said, I'm not insulting you, Reggie. You're coming from you.
You insulted me.
No, I keep it on scholarship.
Emotional harm.
When you start trying to,
I hear a case coming. I hear a case coming.
I'll see. I just want you to go so far that I will send a process server to your house and bring your ass to New York. So you keep talking, because guess what? At the end of the day, what we were talking about other things, and then you started attacking Salim Faraji and Dr. Issa, and then myself. And if I don't say anything, if I don't say anything, I then maybe I chose not to say anything. I may not agree fully, but you can't castigate me for that.
I was calling you.
Hey, Reggie, they said that Baltimore is the agents, but in the chat, you prove it. You talk about cases and drug dealers and process servers, bro. You making the New York look a little crazy right now, big fella. You making them look a little crazy. You building a case. It sounds like you building a case on them. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Building a case and being an agent or anything like that.
I ain't gonna call you no agent, bro. I ain't gonna.
Right. Building a case is it's just like Hassan Campbell is being sued by Supreme, right? Who's in jail? Not what's the other one? Supreme and I can't remember right now. So one of the Supreme team members is in jail, and Hassan Campbell says some things about him, and he sent a process server. He's in court. Hassan Campbell, he unfortunately is dragged into court. So this court case that he's being dragged into is going to cost him no less than $80,000 to defend it, right? I'm telling you about your people's loose lips and accusations. So for the record, for this show, don't take it down. I didn't attack Chief X. We can have an intellectual agreement, but when the person starts talking about my career, I haven't worked, that is harming me, my reputation, affliction.
You know, Bros,
the fact that you saying all of this with a straight face, Reggie, is the funniest shit. I get what you're saying is serious, but it's just I love the legalese. I love the legalese. Go ahead, Stu.
Bros, you know, I've been married twice. Unfortunately, I should have been married once. But when some people come on here and talk, it reminds me of one of my ex-wives telling me a story. As a man, I like to hear the introduction and the end. The middle part that go on for weeks, they call me a weak communicator. I cannot deal with it. I cannot deal with it. I cannot deal with going around and around the mulberry bush a million times before we come to the end of the story. People in here talking legalese, and they don't even understand a libel case. They don't understand what it means that a public figure have a different thing to prove than an ordinary person. And you calling a public figure a grift is not libelous. Okay, and his own lawyer will tell you to go and sit down. Go and sit down. Because if we look at it, just like when the guy on the show did say Trump mother had sex with an orangutan. Right? A public figure have different things when it comes to proving a grift. But somebody coming here because they have one Supreme Court case, which they didn't even, all of a sudden now, they're the legal person here. Remember when that person was defending Polite and him rapist herself?
Okay.
Reggie, remember when he was defending rapist as Polite?
Oh,
you remember that, right?
Yeah, who was?
You remember when he was defending the rapist, pedophile, Polite, talking all this legalese bullshit? Remember when he was defending him?
I wasn't defending him.
You were, you piece of shit, Peter defender.
Wait,
you were defending a Peter.
Hold on, Stu.
What did you say, nigga?
Hold on, Reggie. Stewpeas, you made a point. You don't gotta do the hostile thing.
I'm finished.
No. I didn't tell you to stop. I didn't tell you to stop. I'm just saying we don't gotta
get into the defender. Come on here. It was in there defending the pedo. Stop putting up your words. Just like how Chief X just called you out.
Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that you defended? Why is he saying you defended?
No, let me finish. Chief X just called him out and not putting everybody in them place today when they were talking bullshit about Egypt. And then in the second line, when he came back in the next paragraph, he came back and was calling out Chief X on the same thing Chief X said should call out those people on. If somebody with a PhD in them name, Reggie, pussy get wet. For anybody with a PhD. Anybody with a PhD, wet up Reggie pussy. Them can fucking 3 days from somewhere.
Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah.
We all know that. We all know that. Stop.
Hold on, Stu.
He's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite.
But your delivery, your bars and your delivery, you cool in the beginning, then you finish with these megaton slanders. Like just hold on. Let them at least address the original statement. Why is he saying that you defend? I don't want to make the show about you, Reggie. We can move on, but at least defend yourself in that particular case. Why is he saying you defended Polite?
Okay. I don't know why he's saying I defended Polite, but what I was talking about when I was talking about Polite is that I'm going to wait until the court render a decision. So while everybody else was just being wild, while most of the people love Polite in the past, never brought up any of these things to him, at the mere fact that he's involved in the case. In retrospect, in law, I was probably more right than a lot of people, because the fact of the matter is he only got 7 years out of a sentence that would be 50 years.
You, Uncle Sinetta, was saying the same thing. Now I find that very strange, and the same words too.
What you saying? Hey, Howard,
Howard, let me finish, Howard.
Howard,
let me finish.
Stu,
And I've been well
hold on.
So this means, Tri-Media, this means that I have to be cautious about coming on your show.
No, you don't. I'm trying to, hold on,
because
Reggie.
the show's not about me.
No, wait, Reggie. Before I said we don't have to talk about you, I said we can move to somewhere else, and then you started talking about yourself. We don't got to talk about this.
You asked me a question. You asked me, right? Why is he saying? Why might he be saying that?
No, I said defend. Okay, my point was for you to, if you wanted to defend yourself, you can. If not, we can move to something else.
How can anybody not at least say a few words in their defense? Because this is if I don't say anything, I'm guilty. So
sometimes not saying anything is the smart thing, Reggie.
Okay.
You know that. You're not both know. You know that, brother.
Okay. Well, I think I said enough, except for the next caller who wants to tell me about what I said. Now, the difference is that I have a relationship with Sinetta, and I've had a relationship with Polite. I haven't spoken to Polite in about 5 years. However, what the information I was getting is information from the public and information that was kind of dripping from other conversations about how the case was going and what his defense was.
This dude is a liar. Didn't you and Sinetta have a conversation? Didn't you and Sinetta have a conversation about Polite?
Right, but I just said.
No. He's fucking lying. Come on. He's lying.
Hey, Stu. Not here.
From the conversation.
Right,
I am not a liar.
I understand your vigor, but just this ain't gonna end. This ain't gonna end nowhere good. Howard, I heard you. If you want to say something, speak. Chef or something. Let's move on to something. The last thing I want to do is fuck up my Christmas spirit talking about a fucking pedophile. I don't want to do it.
Okay, let me say this last thing, Brass, about it, and then we can end it, because this shuts it all down. Okay, so like people were, we can move on.
Take a sip first.
Mind games, but
yeah, we can't hear nothing you saying. That Cali, the Cali shit, fuck your internet fucking up.
Did Reggie just say take a shit?
Yeah, he said take a shit first. He definitely
did. Take a sip.
Oh, a sip. I thought you thought a sip.
Oh, okay, brother Reggie.
Reggie, hey, Chief, you got to start fresh. Hold on. It says Garfield was doing the same. Now y'all killing Garfield. This is crazy. Go ahead, Chief. Go ahead, Chief. Your internet ain't right if you talking.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Start from the beginning.
Here's the thing. These cats, even after the courts and the law said we found his 7 semen stains on this 14-year-old girl.
As PG as possible.
These cats still wanted to wait. Having his semen stains on this 14-year-old wasn't good enough for these cats. That's what he means.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another conversation.
No, here's the funny thing is, again, the courts did have that. The courts did have. Well, the room was cleaned, obviously, right? But they did find semen, right? But the problem is with this is that there are mitigating circumstances, right? And
no,
so,
wrong. The thing is that he's telling lies. He's telling lies.
Stewpeas. Whether you think he lying, whatever, you gotta let him finish this because the accusation was levied at him. You gotta let him speak. Then you can speak, bro. When y'all do this anger shit and name calling,
I'm not angry.
Hold on, Stu. Y'all fuck up your own points when y'all get overly angry and emotional about it, because then it starts sounding like bullshit. So let them at least talk, and then you can say whatever if that's where this conversation is going. But I hope somebody else.
When Stewpeas is done, I want next.
Okay, but somebody else gonna have to moderate this because I don't want nothing to do with
okay,
this.
so it's so my comment is that it's in a court of law, right? So we're outside of the court, we're outside of potential jury. If the I've seen cases where they offer a plea no less than 20 years, no longer less than 15 years. They offered him a plea of 7 years with all the evidence. That is the court situation. It has nothing to do with anybody here. So if they wanted to fully prosecute the case, they would have fully prosecuted the case, but they gave him 7 years, and then they took out some things dealing with sex, right? So that had nothing to do with Reggie. That had something to do with Reggie talking about how cases in law, what happens. It has nothing to do with. I was not in the courtroom. I was not offending him. I was waiting to see what the courts would do. Second of all, I always have to be cautious about what I say, because in this community, people turn things into a personality instead of dealing with the issue. So whatever the courts had, the people that's supposed to defend the people, they gave him the ability to take a 7-year plea, right? So don't blame me. Look at the judicial system and money, right? He was able to hire a top-notch attorney, a team, right? That means that there's money behind this case and that they were litigated. But you people who have never been in court, right? Not all. I'm not saying it facetiously or negatively. You don't know how the courts actually work. So I'm supposed to be one of the birds on the ledge, and then
we do know of somebody, if they find semen stains, the person's going down.
And the reason why they took the sex charges out is because the mother didn't want the daughter to come and testify on court. So the mother agreed to drop those charges to get him in there without having her daughter sit on the stand and relive that moment.
But you did not say that, Reggie. That's why you're lying. That's why you're lying.
I appreciate that. Hold on.
You lie by omission. You are lying by omission, Reggie. That's what
now I'm lying by omission?
Right.
Hey, Stu, hold on.
Yeah.
The man started off by saying,
next time your ass get in the hospital room and have to talk on YouTube, right, from the hospital bed, the next time, I hope you fare not so goddamn lucky. You're not a good person.
Reggie, that's not
and
nice.
guess what? Reggie.
Did you just hold on. Everybody stop. You're not gonna be the most polite, damn near wishing of death I've ever heard in my life.
No, I'm a piece of my God.
Hold on. Wait. I'm just saying, hold on, Reggie. Don't get out of
No, that don't bother me.
I know I go that, but there's other people that want to speak. Y'all just gonna argue. That's cool.
No, I'm not going to.
I want to say what I want to say.
Go ahead.
What I want to say is that I think we're mixing up two things. We're talking about how much of time he got and the lawyers he had and all of that, versus what we are talking about is how some of the people in these circles are soft as butter niggas, dick riding, polite, just didn't want to say anything about the case because they was afraid that if he gets off, then they won't be able to suck on his dick on these platforms and stuff. So that's what I'm talking about as a woman. Some of you guys, let me just
let her speak.
Let me finish. Some of you guys need to be ashamed that you couldn't even talk about some of the facts of the case without hiding behind this bullshit about, oh, we're gonna let the system do what it does. Real people with a brain didn't need no damn system to tell them that the nigga is a fucking pervert. So all of you motherfucking niggas, I'm gonna say this one more time for the people in the back, you soft ass, butter soft ass niggas, dick riding polite is why you were afraid to get your ass on YouTube and talk about how this nigga is shameful.
I second that.
I get that, Stu. Hey, Stu, I get it. But hold on, this shit off the rails. Hold on. If y'all got sense to stop for talking like that, this shit off the rails. Reggie. You gotta, Reggie, pause. She wasn't talking to, I don't think she was talking to you. Just hold on.
Yes, she was. He's a big riding Negro. You're a dick riding nigga. This is
Everybody, next time you're sick at the next time that you find yourself in that situation, I will stay out of it. I will let the universe take care of it. Good luck to you. You're not a good person. Now to the sister, I can see what you're saying in general, right? But I just need to from you. Are you talking about me?
Yes, she was.
No, don't speak for her. Hey, Stewpeas, back out. You gotta let her speak for herself.
I'm talking about anyone in these so-called in these so-called conscious community circles who found themselves shaking in their boots, grabbing their balls, and afraid to talk about how this nigga need to be under the jail and how what he did was wrong according to the facts of the case. You don't have to wait until after the verdict. You niggas talk about everything else and talk about anybody else, but for some reason, this nigga who you guys love to slob his balls on these YouTube channels, this is why you could not talk about him. Some people did, but some of you guys, oh, we have to wait. We can't get past judgment on him because the court has to pass its verdict. Fuck that bullshit. That's bullshit. And you guys were hiding behind that fucking bullshit. And yes, I'm talking to you if that was your opinion. Yes, you.
Okay. I got a question. I have a question.
What did you say, nigga?
Go ahead.
Wait, Brad. So here's the thing. Okay, so then when I hear comments like this, and I'm never gonna try to attack a sister. I'm gonna say that I grew up in the time.
Let's own the L. Be a man and own the L. You're not a man. Own the L. Be a man. Don't let him explain the L.
When I grew up in the
just give it a second. Let him talk.
One of the talks that I had with my father, who passed, who's been gone a long time ago. He didn't make it to 50. He used to tell me about the South, and he was growing up, about how friends of his, right, went to death by the courts, right, for dating white women, right? And the mere accusation of a white woman saying that a black man, whatever the case, had sex, turns into rape, and the jury would convict in the time period that he was growing up. And he told me about, you can make your choices, but I'm going to tell you there's some dangerous choices in this world. The jury system or the court system is a court system. People on the outside, you can weigh in morally, and that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Sometimes it's just best to just let the courts handle the situation, because ultimately we don't have any power but just YouTube freedom of speech. But what you just did, sister, is you just condemned the legal system that we are in. That a mere accusation, right? Even if there is evidence that all of a sudden mob rule is more important than the court system. So I worked in the public defender office for 16 and a half years. I did, right? I did a federal case myself, a state case myself, and I'm currently working on a defamation case, right, as a paralegal. There's no
Reggie,
way.
you gotta stop, Reggie. You're not doing yourself no justice with this.
I'm trying to move off this conversation.
Okay, well, that may, I don't understand why I'm not doing myself any justice. Whoever said that.
Chef said that.
Okay, Chef, really, you run this platform, but and that's important. You have a voice, but what you say really doesn't matter, right? What you say in this case really doesn't matter because you have no access to law. You have no experience in law. Right? You have your right to and I'm not going to disrespect you, right? You don't have any you have a right to free speech, right? And you can have a right to kind of weigh in and condemn me when the show's not even about me. But the fact of the matter is that rich and powerful people with money, with handsome motions and handsome law firms, they fare better than the poor. We fit in that situation, not you. The rest of us fare in a situation where we may not be able to have a lawyer, and we might have an AT&B in New York or a legal aid. We may not have the best lawyers. Justice for our people have always been problematic because of the expense of law.
Brother Reggie.
Hey, Reggie, hold on, sister. Hold on. Hey, Reggie, somebody in the, hold on.
What I can say to you is that just call me.
Don't go back and forth with the sister. You don't want
to. Just call me Reggie. I'm not your brother. Right?
Reggie, you are
Reggie,
off
somebody
topic.
in the chat
We're not
said
talking about the court case and all of that. We're talking about how Negroes
topic.
did not feel.
Not the topic.
Hey, Reggie, somebody said you the type of lawyer that'll plea a nigga out to 1,000 years.
I'm not a lawyer. And actually,
this is too funny.
I'm not a lawyer. First of all, I'm not a lawyer, right?
No, they just this in the chat. They're making a joke, right? I'm trying to change the levity.
I'm not reading the chat.
I'm trying to bring levity to
what
change
it
the
is
subject.
That I do know law, and I could bring a case with my pro se information to trial, right? I could go to 12B6 motion to dismiss in federal court. I could bring a defamation case where you listen to Stewpeas, who doesn't know about American law, right? You can listen to him, but I know the difference between hyperbole, right? I know the difference between hyperbole. I know, and so calling somebody a grift is one stage of it, right? The problem is the chat in whole, right, brings it into a whole nother dimension. When you're talking about
Reggie, you're a grifter.
Yeah. Who said that?
You've been a grifter for decades, nigga. What are you talking about?
Okay, so you've been a drug dealer for decades.
If you want to call selling weed a drug dealer, you got it.
Real quick. Hey, Reggie.
You was a drug dealer.
Hey, Reggie, real quick, Reggie. Just to move this conversation. In hindsight, being a Monday morning quarterback. Hold on, Chief. Being a Monday morning quarterback, Reggie. Just a simple question, simple answer. Would you, in hindsight, because I don't know all these other people that said this, that said we should wait. In hindsight, would you say maybe your statement was misplaced, or would you still stand on that square of, even with all the mounting evidence, even where the case was going, you still would have felt like maybe you should wait for any kind of judgment? Or in hindsight, would you think maybe you made a mistake in that case?
In hindsight, I said nothing wrong except for I just dealt with the law, and I always said that I would deal with the law. My personal feelings was irrelevant.
Okay.
Ultimately, I was proven right because of the fact of the matter of, with all the evidence, he got a short sentence. Then I do know a little something about what happens behind bars, right?
That's disgusting what you just said. That is crazy.
What is crazy?
Bro, I ain't even going to let everybody know.
Hold on, Chef. Go ahead, Chef. Let Chef speak. Go ahead, Chef.
Yeah, I want to hear you out.
Go ahead, Chef.
He said he's been proven right because the rape case didn't. He didn't get convicted of, I guess, the most heinous charges. So how would that make you right, bro? That's like
Use some more vocabulary, Chef.
Because we heard, I think he's saying because we heard the mother give her testimony and give her speech at the end, where she told us that she did not want her daughter to sit on the stand and testify. And that's why those charges were dropped. Like, we know the reason why they were dropped. So we know that he should have been charged. And it's not like he just got off because they couldn't find any evidence. It's because.
And we also.
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish, Howard. Howard, let him finish. Go ahead,
no, that's what I want to say. That's the reason why it's like, we know what happened behind the scenes. We know that a deal was made, but we also know that he was dead ass guilty. Right? We know that he took that girl down on the hotel, took her a mile away to another hotel, and assaulted that girl.
He did.
Yeah, we know the details.
Go ahead, Howard. Okay,
he
we got
did,
you, bro.
He did.
I agree.
There's no way in the world that a man could drive around a girl and stop and bring her, a young girl, in the hotel. Right?
Well, why?
So those are the general facts. There's nothing.
Wait, Reggie.
No, see, Brad, that's why.
Because I don't want to get. Hey, Reggie. I know what I just. Yeah.
I said there's no way in the world a man.
Get that, Reggie. We get it, Reggie. We get it.
There's no way in the man. So my personal feelings about it is that he's guilty. That's my personal feelings. But my personal feelings have nothing to do with talking to the public about how law works and mitigating circumstances. You want to so generally I was just talking from my long experience.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want you to. It sounds like, and I'm not telling you what you're doing. It's just when the reason I kind of wanted to move it and go to Howard, maybe Cuban. I think Cuban wanted to say something. It's because I don't want to relitigate this. You know what I'm saying?
No, but what I'm just trying to say is that I was trying to talk to the community about what I know about public defense, right? Or what I know about defense attorneys. I worked in a defense attorney group, and it's always about the case. It's never
defense
really
attorney
about
group.
the person. Yeah, I work for a public defender office for 16.5 years. Have you worked in a public defender? I don't know who I'm talking to.
No, you didn't, Reggie. Reggie, you were never a county employee. Stop it.
I was never a what?
Moving forward.
County employee.
No, I worked in a nonprofit public defender office.
No, I'm trying. I was a legalist.
I don't care what the F you were. You were talking about.
I'm glad it's somebody else.
You're playing up like we didn't, like we dummies, and you're the only smart one. You the only thing know something about.
No, I did not work for the county. I worked for an organization that got money from the county. I work for a nonprofit public defender office.
Fine. Like we dumb. We don't know shit about it.
No, you.
Hey, Chief, it sounds like somebody took it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
Sound like a nigga got you a headlock right now.
You know, in New York, I worked in Manhattan. I worked in Harlem. We had some of the most heinous cases, murder cases, rape cases, right? Heinous. You know the word?
Heinous.
I thought it was heinous.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Doesn't have
We all knew what he was saying. Let's
doesn't have a goddamn in it.
Go ahead, brother.
So the question is, so I've seen, the funny thing is, I've seen people who actually did the crime walk out the court because they knew about law. And I saw young people who didn't know anything about the law, they get the most time, right? A lot of the murderers, rapists, those people, unfortunately, some of them have been in the system a long time. They know about the law, what to say and not to say. I see a lot of young people go in there and then they testify in front of the officers. They testify in the prison system, and all of those become all of that stuff is brought up in evidence. And then I've seen people who actually walked into the office, right? Said they shot two people. They no, well, not two people, but they shot a person. Told us where they shot a person, right? And then it was just the case as to whether the prosecutors could bring enough evidence against them, right? So I've seen those cases. And then the firm allowed me to go out and on site sometimes to collect evidence, right? So I worked with the investigators also, right? So that's my general experience. I was just trying to inform the people that what you're thinking in your mind about what a person is guilty and what they should get doesn't necessarily happen in the United States.
Hey, Reggie, I think one of the overarching issues in the conversation is it just seems like, one, the conscious community has a statistically, as far as sex crimes, it don't even match the rest of the nation based on the amount of sex crimes in the community. That's one. Two, when these things are committed, and we're hearing, and I'm not saying you're defending polite. From what I'm hearing, I don't know who all these other people are, but someone said Garfield, someone said Sonetta. When y'all are saying, when you were saying, because I wasn't here when you said it, about wait for the evidence to come out, it just seems like I've also heard people say things like that in other sex cases. You know what I mean? Or there's other guys in the community that have really heinous histories as far as sex crimes, and they're still sitting on panels and still talking, and people defending things that are just disgusting. Hold on. So I don't think a lot of this vitriol is for you. I think the overall point, because they're not just saying you, they're saying other people. So I think that's the point of, like, these guys that committing these crimes, we only really know them because of certain people in the conscious community. And when it's done, the last thing, even if you do feel like that, that's why I asked you the Monday morning quarterback question, would you change your thought? Because even if you did feel like that, just in my opinion, I just think it's probably a little, that's not what's needed at the time. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think trying to make it a more of a legal law conversation at the time. At that time, once all of that evidence came out, there probably was a time when everybody was saying should have waited. But whoever was saying wait after all of the evidence and all the stuff came out before the decision, even if that's how you felt, it's not going to come off well from you or Sonetta, because or anybody else who said it. I don't know who said what, but it's not going to come off well from you guys, because it does come off like y'all are kind of protecting the guy. I'm just telling you how from the outside looking in.
I can accept that, because those are well-placed words. Again, my personal feelings is that he was guilty.
Right.
But that was my personal feelings. The outside of the personal feelings, when I was trying to talk to the community, unfortunately, I have to live with that. Maybe if I didn't say anything through the whole period, I would still been guilty. If I came out like the rest of you, or not the rest of you, but many of you who are just YouTubers or in the chat or have a voice, it doesn't really mean anything. What it really means is to try to educate people on. I thought,
well, Reggie, we didn't need your education at that point, right? I think everybody was having the conversation that you're having now. You see how you just said my personal feelings was that he was guilty. So everybody who was chiming in on their personal feelings, right? You never expressed that. Only thing you expressed to us was that it's time you should wait for the court, when everybody was up there talking about their personal feelings. Couldn't none of us
because I'm not you. That's all you have. You don't have.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him. He ain't saying that.
Couldn't none of us convict for like in a court case. We were talking about moral, right? And what
right or wrong, like from the evidence that the stuff that he admitted to do, right? We were saying he was wrong, like he was guilty on that thing. And the fact that you and your friends kept, deflecting to the legal when we were talking about our personal feelings, it was kind of like, yo, are y'all covering up? What's going on? That's the point that everybody making.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Chef,
But
I
you
can
just
accept that. Watch this, Chef. I can accept that. You from Baltimore, right?
What the hell I got to do? I'm
Why y'all keep slandering Baltimore?
Why the United States?
Answer the question. You from Baltimore?
Yes, I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah. Answer the question. You from Baltimore?
Yes, sir.
Great. In Baltimore, growing up, did you know murderers?
Yes.
Great. Did you know?
Yes.
Great. Was they doing wrong?
Was they what?
Was they doing wrong things in the community?
Of course, yes.
Did you run to the police? Did you run to the police and tell on the people that was doing it?
No.
Okay. So if someone who had personal feelings about what was going on, right?
Raz, this nigga finna hang himself, man.
I'm trying to, hey, Howard, I'm listening and I'm trying to move. That's what I'm saying. Like, because the thing is, y'all trying to, hold on, Reggie. Y'all trying to make him, hold on. And this is, y'all kill me for it, it's fine. But Reggie ain't that's what I'm trying to figure out. Was Reggie the only person saying this? Because it sounds like y'all.
Unc was saying it. Unc was defending him.
I don't want to talk about that. But I'm saying, was there others? You don't gotta say names. I'm saying, if it was other people saying it, let's not make him the poster child for the whole conscious community. Like, deal with what he said.
So let's move on. Let's move on, because I don't think that maybe the sister, maybe outside the sister, but the grown men, if we lived in urban communities, we ourselves did wrong. We ourselves know people that did wrong just because of the status of the environment that we lived in. A personal.
No. You're not good.
You're making it work, Reggie. Every time you tell us to move on, every time you tell us to move on, you're saying something that sounds. It just. I know what you're trying to say, Reggie, but it just sounds crazy. It just sounds crazy.
What did I say that was wrong?
Now, what I'm saying is, when you say move on, right? I'm trying to make it where you're not.
I didn't say. I said
because I know it ain't nothing but push.
No, but when you say let's move on, hold on, Reggie. I'm gonna tell you what you just did, right? And I'm not gonna tell you what you meant. I'm gonna just tell you how it comes off, Paul, when you say this. You're saying we're talking about a pedophile. We're talking about a man molesting a child. Yeah. When you start saying things like, well, in every community, we know guys who such and such.
Lord.
It ain't. I know what you're trying to say. It's just when you're saying it, it's not. It's not coming off the way you're trying to say.
Let me walk myself over the ledge by myself.
Okay, go ahead then. Hey, then I'm out the way.
Brad, can I kick him off? Can I kick him off the ledge?
No. Hey, Reggie, let's
Brad, can I kick him off the ledge?
Let's Stewpeas talk when you're done. Go ahead, Reggie. Yes.
Brother Reggie, please don't do it.
And then I'm next.
So the issue is in the circumstances that we are in because of this environment that we live in, right? We can pick and choose cases. There are cases where people shot an innocent bystander, a young girl, promising young boy, because they were shooting at somebody and they missed. And the community knows who shot that person, and the community won't say anything. And then there are family members, and then there's also gangs and stuff when the person goes to trial, right? They sit up there and they wait, right, to see what the outcome is based on the case that they gave. Anybody who's doing crime, right, a professional criminal will say, shut your mouth, this is my case. we unfortunately revere criminals in our community. We do, right? A lot of the people that I argue with who are on the side, right? I argue up and down New York City, right? I was on the first day of the case. I argue up and down with people about the Diddy case. But people have their way. They want to, and then they come back and say, after all the crimes that he did with women, and I waited. I didn't say I waited on that case to see what case. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the justice system gave him a damn year. And so I said that just makes my point. But people have their points of view. I got that. But the so-called justice system gave him a year. So now all I can just say is that I have been disappointed enough in life, right, on cases that I thought could bring justice, right? But justice is not what I saw happening. So I am fragile in that situation because I don't know what the community. If Polite walked out of the courtroom, many of you people, not all of you, but many of you people would say nothing if he walked out of the courtroom. Because I know, because when I was in the conscious community, people, even when I was disagreeing with Polite, even on information, people would take Polite's side over my side, right? I would stand in front of museum artifacts, read the Medu Neter, right? Just because it's a skill, not because I'm an Egyptian, but because it was a skill that I learned, and I would stop.
Brass, I'm veering off now, Brass. I'm veering off. I had to interrupt him because I'm veering off.
Shut up. Let's get back.
Can I go now, Brass? I'm veering off now. Can I go?
Shut up. You're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. You are rude. You're not a nice person, right? You're just in your own space. I got it, but you are cutting me off. So you know what? So Brass, again, I haven't been on your show for a while. I haven't been on this show, Chef.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We haven't been live in a while. I appreciate it. That's how I'm trying to I ain't trying to make this. It's just starting to sound a little different than maybe.
Yeah, because the attack is not on Polite. The attack is not on Polite. The attack is not even on Tariq Nasheed anymore. It's not even on the grip. That's because we are so unfocused. The attack becomes on me when I wasn't even talking about. I was talking about what the show was about.
Just so we clear, I tried to move this because I know I'm gonna get blamed for this, Reggie, at some point. Not by you. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to move this conversation somewhere else. But I gotta, now that we're here. Hold on. Now that we're here. No, that's fine. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm just saying, now that we're here, I can't only hear per se from you. That's why I was trying to say anybody else. I'm not trying to incriminate anybody else.
I'm muting my mic. But I would ask people, if that's what you want to do, don't let them attack me.
I got you. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Stewpeas time. No, Stewpeas time.
Let's do going and then we'll go to you.
Thank you. I won't bark. Let me off the leash. I promise you I won't bark.
Okay,
I'll be as calm as possible. I won't bark. But let's look at it this. When the Polite case came about, we have those people in the conscious community who claim to have high moral value. And those people came on and they told everybody, do not attack the man, wait on the outcome. Because they knew that he was not going to be charged with rape. Because Senator knew that he was not going to be charged with rape. Because Polite told Senator. That's why I asked this individual, did you speak to Polite before?
That's not true. That's not.
Was read? No. Remember, Senator came on and said, "You don't know what I know." I spoke to Polite. You don't know what I know, because Polite know that he would not be charged as a sex offender based on the deal that was made between the mother. That's not true.
No, Senator didn't know shit. Senator lying.
Senator, thank you then. Then Senator acted like he knew more. Thank you very much, Chief X. That cleared up a lot of things for me. But at the same time, what we all knew was the DNA evidence. That wasn't the first thing that was released. The DNA evidence that came out to say this dude semen was found on the shirt the young lady was wearing. Whether it was her mother's shirt, as they claim, but the DNA, what she was wearing at the time, had 6 or 7 spots of his semen on her clothes. When Unc and Reggie was confronted with that on Unc show, Reggie went into a whole hour of diatribe. Unc called me an idiot. That's why I take it personally. And he said, I'm also ignorant and I don't know what I'm talking about. We should all wait before passing judgment, as if the man's semen was not found on the young lady blouse. He said, what would I do? I come from a culture where we love cursing our gasoline and car tires. And we do that to people that have children. Some people get away, but when we find them, we know what a tire and a gallon of gasoline does. So you can tell me anything you want to tell me, or which neighborhood you come from, because killers are treated different than rapists and child rapists. So if you're afraid to talk, go and sit in the corner. Don't talk to black people. Don't come up here and say you're talking knowledge when it comes to bullshit like Egypt. But when it comes to real shit like rape, all of a sudden you shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up every day then. Every day shut the fuck up. If you're not going to talk about relevant situation, don't talk about Egypt bullshit and the brown cow and the black Nile and the red this and the black cow and the city plan. Shut the fuck up all the time.
Amen.
All right? Shut the fuck up. Don't shut the fuck up when it matters. And then when it don't matter, you have a lot of voice. Just shut the fuck up every day.
Okay,
Go ahead, sister.
Okay, motherfucker.
You can't do anything. When you come to New York and slap you in your fucking face.
Hey, see,
call
this
New
is
York
what...
tonight. And you fucking get mad enough. When you never get mad enough, I'll call New York tonight. And you never go 125th Street of fucking there.
All this over gangster shit, let them do that shit on other channels. All this threatening each other and going to people.
If there was no trial. There was no trial, you stupid motherfucker.
Oh,
right?
God.
So this is leaked evidence. But this is not necessarily, this is not, who leaked it? When was that trial? When was that evidence, motherfucker? I'm not saying that it did not exist. I'm just saying that the law, right? The law could throw that out. The law could throw that out, you stupid motherfucker. So the question is, what you got was somebody went in and got some documents. That's fine and leaked it to the public. You stupid motherfucker. But in the case, right? In the case, it comes out as direct evidence when you do a direct or a cross, right? When evidence is presented. So my situation is, I heard that, but I don't know how that's going to be presented, you stupid motherfucker, right? So most of you people just looking at leaked information, you don't know if it's true or not. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of black people are condemned, right? By innuendos, right? So again, you said you want to move to show brass, but then you got people still dragging it on. So if we're gonna move it, let's talk about another topic.
Cool.
Right?
Cool.
I've
been trying. Oh, Jesus Christ. So let's let this be the last. Go ahead, Sister Safa. That's it.
Okay, yes, we do need to move it along.
But nothing personal, though. Nothing personal.
Yes, I'm not saying anything personal. Okay. One thing I will say is that Mr. Reggie spoke to something, and then I would like to know if others on the panel share a similar sentiment. Now, how many of you men here feel like maybe you should, just not say too much until the verdict because of the trauma and different things that our people have experienced here? So we'll just give them a little pass, or we'll just sit with our butt cheeks squeezed tight. We won't say anything until the verdict because of how our people because of how black men have been unjustly accused and convicted of things. How many of you on here share that opinion?
Hell no.
No, I don't.
Anybody?
I think there are crimes.
Not when it comes to them kids like that.
No. I was about to say there are crimes where you know, we could do the justice system thing, we could do the law thing, we could say the, you know, the free will, whatever the hell you want to call it. But there are some crimes that, to be quite honest, you are guilty before you proven innocent, because there's so many layers of society that gotta fall where you before you end up in a hotel room with a young girl. So at just the crime of being there alone, I don't even think he would have been able to explain that part. I don't need all the rest of the this, that, and the third. You know, I'm sure in school, in teachers, part of the reason why teachers get ostracized for cases like this, whether they did something or whether they didn't, how did you end up with a kid in your car? If you did nothing with that child, you broke a societal rule, not necessarily a law rule, that the public and society, those are things you get judged in the court of public opinion. Now, when the legal system catches up and then they say, well, we got this, and this as far as evidence A, B, C, and D, then that's the law part. But as far as the society of public opinion in that particular case, the one thing, that's what I was trying to say to Reggie earlier, even if he did feel that way or others felt that way, I don't think that was the time to show discretion. In that particular case, you let the law figure out the law side, but as far as us, until that shit is unequivocally the other way, then we're not waiting for any form. And I'm not talking about anything legal. I understand what Reggie is saying, but that works for him and whoever else said it. I'm saying on my side, since we're talking about towns and all of that, nobody around me would ever be allowed to say, if a case like this, and this was somebody I knew personally, there's no way in hell somebody around me would say, well, we just gonna wait for the evidence to come out. That person would have to get the fuck from around me. And that's just how that would play.
That's fine, but there was another problem earlier, right? Polite was talking about Dr. York's case with the brother who accused
Tariq
Noel. And right then and there, Polite made his statement about that no matter what, he's going to go with Dr. York. Then I knew there was a problem in the community, because it was at that moment, right, these people who are talking loud and strong, right, said nothing at that particular point. The only person that I know that said something like directly right at the spot was, I think, Unc, right, about that, right?
About what?
About Polite saying that he would go with Dr. York no matter what, right? And so the majority of the community.
Hold on, somebody's starting a car, a Buick or some shit? Mute your mics, Stu.
Somebody's trying to talk.
No, it just sounds like somebody's car ain't starting. Hold on, Stu.
Right. So I got a chance to I've been in this community for a long time, and so I think people are fickle. Now, about my sister, right? Please, as a sister, please do not use sexual language, right? When because then what happens is when you start talking about things like butt cheeks and dick suckers and things like that, I'm old enough. I'm 60 years old enough to kind of like breathe, right? I mean, you could say those things, but I think that you should just say things without the metaphors and stuff like that. If you disagree with me, okay, I got that. You disagree with me talking about law, but I said my personal feelings about his situation, right? I said my personal feelings. I'm curious. I'm not curious, but I have enough experience with the law to know that it doesn't go in the way in which people want. And also, I know that a lot of people prior to this was huge supporters of him, and I see the contradiction.
When he said that, I apologize. Just so I can get some clarity, Reggie. I'm familiar with what Polite said on that bench to the guy. He would defend his leader if he did whatever with 100 kids or some wild shit like that. Let me ask you a question though, and and you don't have to answer. I'll shut the live off if you like. When he said that, and this is not legal. I'm talking to you just man to man. When he said that, or if there was someone who said York didn't do it, how do you fuck all these shows and intelligence and all this, that, and the other? Where did you stand? Because you said you know him personally, whatever, you spoke to him personally, whatever. However y'all deal with each other. How did you continue to fuck with him after seeing what he said on that bench? How did you personally, like, not draw the line yourself, and say, yeah, he's ex communica non grata. We just ain't going. He got to go away. Because that's a good point that you bring up, that people still fuck with him after the bench. But those people, that would be, I mean, y'all was still, I don't know if y'all was cool, you'd have to say yourself. But how did you still fuck with him after seeing what he said on that bench?
Yeah. What I felt when he said it was horrible. Right? Okay. So I was disgusted.
You can leave it there. That's fine.
I was disgusted. Only other thing is that I've been in my community where people did disgusting things to other people that I know, right? And I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of things in my Fortune community, and I think that we all have, right? But I lived in a very interesting project, right? There's a time and a place, right? So my situation with him changed, right? I think at that on trial had been over, and I wasn't. How can I say I was on YouTube, but I think that our kind of conversations on that actually ended, right? Generally our relationship changed. I did not like it strongly, but the difference between me and most of the people in the chat, you people, many of you people eating chicken feed, you're not even, you don't even know these people or talk to these people. So you all act like you want to be the moral judge and shit, but you ain't shit. You really don't matter in the situation. So then you have somebody like me who almost on all these shows, I've talked to people, so I can give you my different perspective. So I open myself up for attacks from chickens, right? Who don't mean anything, whose life experiences doesn't even have them meet any of these people, right? So I weigh in a lot of these topics. I'm a thought leader. I create a lot of these topics. Whether I'm the author of them, not all of them, but I'm the author and I'm around them, right? On like, for example, the FBA situation, I think Rob Bourne and True Storian, or it's their time to kind of seal the deal with history. They've done the most work on it, right? On the whole idea of blacks in this country, and that's what we were originally talking about. But Christians want to talk about everything else and listen to a drug dealer, right? Who's still a substance abuser, right? Or allegedly looks like a substance abuser. You don't want to look at attacks against me because I simply come on here. So all of a sudden I become the focus of what my moral caliber is. But you people, you sit in your shit, right? And hide. I'm not the person that actually hides on the issue. I deal with the issue and I look at the mitigating circumstances, right? So there you have it. So to some of you, hey, fuck you. You're nobodies. You fucking don't matter, right? Your opinion is good for this show, but after this show goes up and goes down and gets as many views as it can, you're still a piece of shit. But fuck you, right? And I have to say that out of my more professional character because of what you do to other black people, right? You act as if you're perfect, right? But no, all you do is come on and castigate people but you don't want to look at your fucking selves. So I got that. I'll continue to shine in. And so if I put myself in a bad way, I'm thinking about everything that I say. I'm just unhappy about motherfucking chickens got things to say about another human being, but when they weren't even in a position, because they don't put themselves in a position to even talk or even fucking matter. So I'm not perfect.
So you're saying you knew Polite personally? Is that what you're saying? You know all these persons, so you knew him personally too, right?
I was in his community. I know a lot of people.
Yeah. Stuck together.
Well, if you know him, go ahead, sister.
No, Howard, finish.
Well, if you know him personally and you know all this, and us chickens don't know shit, then you have that responsibility to let us know what the fuck is really going on. And you didn't. And none of them niggas did because they wanted to chase the goddamn bag. Fuck this so-called conscious community. Your niggas was chasing the bag, came out with a damn statement. All you niggas using the same damn statement, which let me know it was a goddamn contrived meeting that was gonna wait to what the court said. That shit is bullshit.
Amen.
All that shit is bullshit. Go ahead, sis.
It's that amen. Okay, so here's the thing: is
you don't gotta defend everything, right? I'm just saying, like, it's not, I don't think.
No, because you said that he was gonna move it.
No, I'm trying to. No, hold on. I don't know. I don't know what everybody gonna say, but I think he just asked you one question. The overarching point in the whole thing, Reggie, is they're talking about all of the people that said it, not just you, brother. So they're not. I know you're here, but you're not a representation for all the other people they're talking about. They're talking about everybody.
That's fine. My situation is Polite left New York. I was Polite.
You ain't listening to me, are you, Reggie? Like, you don't gotta defend it, brother. They're not. They're talking about all these other people too.
But why are they talking about it? Because it's not moved.
They're talking. No, they're talking about it because every time you say something, hold on, let me finish. Hold on, Reggie.
What he said
every time, Reggie. I know, Reggie. Every time you say something, though, this is. I can tell you what's going on, and you know what's going on. It's just they're talking to you, so you're not recognizing it per se. Every time you say something, it's causing them to try to get more clarity, and you're calling them chickens and shit. So motherfuckers is biting back because I don't know what nigga. I get it, but I get that. But what I'm saying to you is the questions are coming. He asked that question because he's trying to get clarity on some other shit you're saying. I'm saying if you stop defending
he's talking about me.
I don't think
he wants clarity on me, so I'm gonna give the motherfucker clarity.
I'm out the way.
Polite left New York. I didn't speak to Polite about 3 to 4 years till the situation happened. How the fuck am I supposed to know what he's doing in California or wherever, Florida or wherever else he is? I don't know. I wasn't concerned with that.
You knew what the nigga did in New York. Goddamn child. All you niggas knew it. And you're gonna sit up there and say, well, we're gonna just wait and see. But you had the inside information.
How the fuck I have inside information?
All right. This thing. I gotta physically stop the conversation. I'm physically stopping it. This is going nowhere. This is just y'all niggas talking back and forth. Reggie, I'm gonna say this. Reggie don't need no defense. If he's not the only person that said it, keep that same energy. Because that's what the chat is saying. The chat, I'm reading the chat while y'all talking. The chat is saying a bunch of niggas were saying this shit, and y'all making it like it's just him. I don't think what Reggie said was correct. I do believe in hindsight, knowing what he knows now, he probably wouldn't have said it then. He won't back off that point. That's cool. But that he ain't the poster child for fucking what's going on in the conscious community, not in this case. So let's stop unless it's gonna go to somewhere productive. Let's put a nail in this particular thing and move on.
So that's it. Nothing.
You right. I agree. He's not the poster child. He's
No, it's other niggas. Y'all done said it 1,000
bad.
times.
He catches
Other
side
niggas.
bullets.
No, Howard. You ain't got to say you're bad. Nope, y'all not wrong in what y'all saying. I'm just saying when y'all trying to make, if it's 9 niggas that said it in the chat, they saying Garth, all kinds of names done said it. But the thing is when you trying to make it like it's just him and he's here to speak, then now we've been talking about it for an hour and a half. So now it's just the only thing we can do is sling mud. It ain't gonna. There's nothing gonna come out of this at this point. Go ahead, Cuban. But let's try to move. I done asked 10 times. Just say what you got to say, and then that's that.
I was going to say I think it's because Reggie is the one that's here.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Right. So okay. So what I'd like to say is this: number one, Tariq Noel and Mikey had the conversation in 2010. All right, so it wasn't 8 years ago. It wasn't 6 years ago. 2010, the conversation happened. I put it in the chat. It's dated, and it's from Tariq's channel. I found out about this conversation maybe 6, 7 years after that video. I didn't know nothing about that video. I'll say this. Even when you exclude the situation that happened in Miami with that young girl, that people interestingly had no balls to say anything about, when it was clear as day that there was something there, okay? And then you get the paperwork that's presented. And I remember when that paperwork was presented, people were still saying that he didn't do it, or you don't know, or this, that, and the third. Okay. Let's rewind to a young woman that I even thought was his daughter, that a lot of people thought was his daughter, and come to find out it wasn't his daughter. And this young woman, probably about 14 at the time, dressed like his other wives, his supposed wives, his concubines, whatever you want to call them, dressed just like him. She was very well matured for her age. In that situation was a young woman. It turns out it wasn't his daughter. And it was stated that there was something going on between them. And then that statement was changed to it wasn't, to footage of her sitting on his lap during an interview, which was very sexual. I've never seen a young girl sit on her father's, first of all, that age, sit on her father's lap. I thought at a certain point, a girl was not to sit on her father's lap. And at this point in her life, sitting on his lap, very sexual. Now, 2010, he sits on the bench with Tariq Noel. And there was people who knew about this. But these same people that knew about this did shows with him, did conferences with him, a whole bunch of shit. Point that I'm getting at is the reason why people didn't speak up against Mikey, right? And even when even you exclude that and you just get to his crappy rebranded, regurgitated Dr. Pork information with a financial twist to it that he incorporated, and a cult he created, which is a sect of the New Oppies called New Covenant. Even when you get to that, people were quiet. And a lot of people wanted to say too much about his disinformation. Why? Because you're going to be burning bridges. You're not going to have subscribers. You're not going to have watchers. You can't attend and speak at this conference and make some money. You can't this, you can't that. Oh, you speak out, then you're going against the grain and you're not going to have no friends. That's what happened. So overall, when it came to Mikey, there was a bunch of cowards that said nothing. Zero. And I just don't understand that. I understand it, but for me as a person, I don't understand it because I just couldn't do something like that. I don't understand that. I don't understand how it's aside from him. How is it that you have a whole bunch of people in the science community that seem to be pedophiles, yet still go on platforms and people still entertain conversations with them? So what I think is this, is you got cowards. And you have people that have no sympathy, compassion, or empathy, because they might say, well, you know, if that happened to my kid, I would do A, B, and C. Oh, so because it's not your kid, you'll fuck with him. I even start to think that even if it was your kid, you wouldn't do nothing. I just think this, at the end of the day, it's a coward, weirdo, sickos that just for some reason, it's a behavior that's allowed. It's a behavior that it's like not shunned. It's just not. It's despicable. I don't see the justification. As far as speaking out against him because he's rich and powerful, oh what? A rich and powerful scammer? A scammer. This has it not been proven that he had things materialistically that he didn't even own? And this is what we worried about. Like this is why I don't get. We worried about these clowns. We worried about the Tariq Nasheeds. We worried about these cult leaders. We worried about all these people. We can't speak out. We can't this. We can't that.
Brother Malik.
I'm not done. I've listened to all of you for a while. I'm not buying the shit.
Okay,
I'm not.
Ask you a question.
I'm not. No way. I'm not done.
I'm not,
Reggie, I'm not done, Reggie. I totally disagree with you. I'm not done. I absolutely disagree with you, and this shit is sickening to me, and I don't get it, and I don't understand what people say. They sit at the feet of the scholars and of the elders, and they're on this, and they're on that, and they rep this, and they rep that. Well, those things that you supposedly rep is against injustice of any shape, form, or fashion of matter. So how are we being selective? And that's what I don't get. And I don't get it. It's not just from individuals been mentioned. It's from individuals that came before that had individuals that were doing things that were deviant. And you stay quiet. So perhaps this is something that individuals did learn from their elders. Stay quiet. You don't speak about certain things. Why? Could it be that one hand washes the other? Could it be that you're really scared that if you speak out, you're going to have skeletons that's going to come out the closet? That's what I don't, nah, yo. There's no justification, man. It's children. It's children. And it's individuals that are sitting up and propagating their nonsense and talking about, I'm for my people. I'm so tired of people saying they're for their people, and especially when it comes to my respect for Black American people. When I hear Black Americans say this, how fucking dare you say that when you had Black American real leaders? And I hope I don't have to mention names of real leaders that really stood for their people. You think they give a good goddamn what the fuck you look like? Wrong is wrong and right is right. And as last time I checked, this behavior, if there's supposed to be some type of forwardness and progression, there cannot be forward and progressiveness of any shape, form, or fashion when anything is counter-revolutionary to what's supposed to be revolutionary. And in that is why there is none of this selective stuff. There has to be critique. There cannot be a betterment of a people until the weeds are plucked, until the branches are cut from the trees, until the lawn is mowed, until the house is cleaned up. It can't happen. Until then, you're going to have a filthy house and a dirty yard and an unkept people that have unclean people that's getting into your hearts and your minds and manipulating, deceiving you with disinformation and deviant acts that's justified. And so for some reason, it's just accepted. It's nonsense. And in closing, I'll say this. I told you this before, Reggie, and if Dr. Khalid was alive, that brother would not be standing for this shit. He wouldn't. I'm saying in the sense of that fire, I'm saying in the sense of what he stood on principle. Negate the ideologies. Take that out the equation. If that's what you get, if people get caught up on and say, well, he believed this. No. The principle of the things he would stand on for his people. Some branches from the tree have to be cut off. And it's not being cut off. And it continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. That's why the science unity is a joke. It's not nothing serious. Most people don't even know what the fuck it is or know who these people are. It's a joke. And it's fucking disrespectful as hell on so many levels, man. Like, I can't understand how this shit's fucking justified. But I forgot. Look where we live. We live in America. In this country, you have Epstein files and all types of stuff that goes on. So what can we only expect for people to emulate? This thing is bigger than a science community. It's huge, it's global. But that doesn't mean that you have to accept it and embrace it and be a part of it. Like, have some goddamn morals. This shit's fucking sick, man.
Okay, can I talk now? Okay, so I agree with you 90%. Me and you, we actually know each other. Right? We actually stood up in a very interesting time period, me and you. And you know that I was disgusted about some things, and I shared with you something directly, not knowing, because I've seen your walk. I told you something that other people would not really respect, right? I told you something about a person, right? What I would say about that is that, yes, that helped you change, but I did stand up, told you something very specific. When Ron Savage was talking about a situation that he had, I had a conversation with Ron Savage because I grew up with him, right? And I told Ron, I said, Ron, okay, I got that. But Ron, we told you not to go there. We told you why not to go there. You still went there, right? You have a right to say what you have to say. Then it turns out that Ron comes back and says, well, I wasn't a minor. Well, I was a minor, but I faked my ID. And everybody thought I was older because I was getting in the clubs, right? And I just find that most of what you said is correct about human nature and people, right? So you have a right to say not to cut me off or not let me speak when you were speaking, but you're a friend of mine. We share the same walk. We drove together, we talked together, right? And we talked about these dynamics. And you saw, and you know more than me how dangerous it was in a particular situation, right? To just so what you did was you moved away once you collected evidence, right? So, but I told you the truth. I wasn't complicit. I told you the direct truth, and then it's also the human nature. And me and you know people who were victimized by him, by a person that I'm not talking about, but still, those people still present in all, they did not move away. Human nature is something, something about the human nature. It's not about the conscious community. So the people that I can't name names because you know what will happen to me, but there are the victims of a particular situation, and we know those people, and they told you something that they didn't tell me, which I found out from you, right? But still, these things go, and the people around this particular person still protect them, right? But how can I say you're not a coward? Malik, my brother Malik is not no coward, right? But he knows to win and pick and choose his fights, right? Now I don't know if you talk to the person that we're talking about, right? Personally, after that, if you've had any discussions with him after that, as you were moving away, right? I know you was there when I spoke for their organization. I'm trying to figure out, but I was speaking to the organization. I wasn't speaking to the person, right? So I'm not going to take anything away from you, and I'm not taking it personally, but I'm just saying that you understand the time and the place, right? And when you can do your best work or not. YouTube is not the way to do the best work, sir. You and I know that, right? It's through talking to other people, finding out information, trying to create some type of plan, or to counsel people, right? Into helping them make their own decisions. So I'll stop, my good brother.
Well, I have to agree to disagree with you, and perhaps it's just that's how we see things. Once for me something like that comes to light, I can deal with somebody. Like the whole time I was in that, I knew a lot of people that were murderers, armed robbers. I could deal with that because what was the reason why they did it? Maybe they needed because they had to eat. Maybe they did it out of protection. But something when it comes to children, there's no justification for. You didn't. So when I hear people say, well, so-and-so went to him, okay, so-and-so went to him, right? We have parents out here tell their kids, don't be on the streets and don't do this and don't do that, right? And they go ahead and they do it and they don't listen. And they get locked up, they could get shot, they could get killed, they could get beat up, they could get robbed, and blah, 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 blah. It still doesn't mean that it was, in other words, them going to him after them being told not to go to them doesn't justify a grown man doing what they did to a child. It just doesn't. So they fucked up and they went. And they did what they did. But it doesn't justify the behavior of what the person did, though. Like, that's the thing in it. Like, when you speak about Ron, and trust me, I don't like him. I don't like his position he's taken. It's disgusting. However, at the end of the day, he's still a survivor. I won't take that from him. But he was a kid. And Lance was not a kid. So there's just no justification in it. There's no,
I agree.
Yeah. So it's like, but my thing is why the emphasis on the survivor of the victim versus the victimizer?
I agree.
Yeah, but you don't do that. Like when you bring up Ron, you always go, we told him not to go, and then he got the idea, and then you ate the cookies, and you went back, and and it's just like, okay, but what about Lance?
I don't know Lance.
Yeah, you know Lance.
I don't know Lance. I didn't grow up with Lance. Where's Lance from?
But you know who I'm talking about is what I'm saying. When I say you know Lance, I'm saying you know who I'm talking about.
I don't know this person. I do know Ron.
Bambada is Lance Taylor. That's his name. I don't like calling him Bambada because he's not that of history. Okay. To me, that's disrespectful that he even takes the goddamn name Africa Bambada. He doesn't live up to he couldn't fucking take a shit in the whole Africa Bambada of South Africa. Like he has no business having that. That's Lance Taylor. So Lance is a scumbag, and all these other people, it's like people knowing what so-and-so did, and okay, even if they were convicted and it's just like, but you still chuckling with this pedo, like that shit just don't. I don't
have no contact with him.
No. What I'm saying is, in general, how people are. Period. It doesn't just mean this community. It could just mean as abroad. That people know what people have done, and even if they served their time and they came out, and it's just like, but you understand that that's a pedophile.
Yeah, but I didn't know, for example, with Ron, I didn't know until Ron came out. I didn't know what happened to Ron until he actually came out and said it. And that was when the conscious community got it. And that's when they started doing a press release. I know, but with him, and then the other people, it was more speculations because it was the craziest thing on my block. My
Okay,
block,
so
right?
let me ask you this: why is it? And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I want to know why is it that individuals who are revered as elders,
Yes,
these scholars, these people that were for their people and the cause and against capitalism, white supremacy, and the whole nine, right? Why is it that these individuals let people like Dr. Pork walk around? Why was Lance Taylor allowed to walk around if these things was known? According to Melly Mel, everybody knew. And the last time I checked, a lot of these scholars and elders know these people from hip hop, right? Attend their functions, speak at their functions. I've seen it over the decades.
Yeah.
So there's no motherfucking way that a lot of people didn't know.
Well,
and even if you go back then, it's like how is it nobody knew? How is it that for God's sakes, Bilal Phillips knew what York was doing when he rebutted York and made York denounce Islam, right? And then to go to another religion and shred that dude to pieces. A Jamaican guy, an imam that knew all this shit, and other people that knew too. Like, I don't understand, how is it he got to walk around toppled with promoting disinformation to then turn around and say, well, we have to teach our people what the true history is, but meanwhile you got this guy on Bushwick that's writing crazy books and doing all this crazy stuff, and nobody's going at it, nobody's shutting them down.
I agree.
Like, I never understood how did all this, like, how did these people allow this shit to fucking function?
Well,
that's what I don't get.
Right, I understand that. And so I understand that, and you're talking about human nature and all the problems of human nature. And I see this all the time. You can stand out, right? You can, individuals can stand out, and many people